Howdy, everyone. Welcome back. I'm not on screen yet. I'm going to do an audio check here.
No.
Would you like to approve the cursed list of creatures that I have?
Please read off the cursed list of creatures while we're doing an audio check.
Giant badger, giant centipede, giant lizard, just a regular panther, riding horse.
Not a giant panther stream. No one wants to watch this.
It's so nondescript. It's a regular panther.
Regular ass panther.
Boring ass.
Straight up.
Regular ass.
If any Panthers are watching, we love you. Don't feel bad about that.
We'll call it forever.
It's kind of sad because the giant centipede is still a small beast. But like a small centipede.
Well, then what do they call like a medium-sized centipede?
Gargantuan centipede.
What do they call a colossal
Tiny
size?
feet.
Like how?
How big do you have?
Planet-sized centipede. World eater.
Oh my
Are
God.
we
world.
tiny or are they actually large?
Large?
And there's a subjective size question to playing sentient candy.
Yes.
Like, are we in fact that small?
You're in fact.
Are we candy
Tiny?
size?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think so.
Here are our small adventures. So that makes like the owl I have really small.
Yes.
Oh,
It's like a chocolate chip sized owl.
You know,
Those little
I kind of imagine him actually being just a chocolate chip.
Aww.
Oh, cute.
Brilliant shit owl.
Got a chip on your head.
Yeah, oh
That's
my
delicious.
goodness, that
He
is
just has,
good.
like, you know how like owls.
Oh
have
my
little
goodness, that
speckles?
is good.
Those are just from
I like it.
it's made of nougat or something.
That makes
Fucking
sense because
feels
that's
good.
what's in the center of a Tootsie Pop, so that nougaty. Right. So you
That's
nougat
chocolate.
center Tootsie Owl chocolate chips.
I remember Tootsie Owl. You'd be like, one, crunch.
Two.
You only ever made it to 3.
We have a depiction of the chocolate chip one.
This
Thank
pleases
you.
me. Thank you.
Accurate size.
It's a
Size
mini
as
chip.
indicated.
It's a mini chip.
It's not like a full size chip. It's a mini chip.
Oh, I get guidance from Star Map. Is it
You
alright
do?
if I change out the
Yeah,
camera?
you can add another cantrip with that being said. With that being said, the thumb is on the screen so that I know where we can mark the start of the episode recap, y'all. Let's do that.
All right, people, so big.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sugar Spice Everything Dice Game of Cones. This is our weekly brunch D&D. Thank you to both Oshi and Samwise for making, prepping our meals. It's always, as always, fantastic, as always, delicious. We did just level up to level 2, so for all of you crunchy nerds at home, they're just finishing that up now. I'll go over the summary. We'll get back to where we were, and then I'll appear on camera at that time because right now I have to read from the computer screen, which is behind the camera.
So do like a narrator voice.
Just become a disembodied voice. There's nowhere in it.
It's actually
He's
kinda good.
already a narrator voice.
Where's that coming from? Is that diegetic?
Welcome to Physical 100.
There's got to be a logo that appears in that. Oh, no, we're going careful. We can't get copyright infringement. That we made that one up. That was fully us. There was no other people. Anyway,
Sue us, D&D. We need the publicity.
I dare you.
that would be
Fucking
wild.
dare you.
The Banan-knights, realizing their error, explained last week that their numbers were greatly diminished during several ambushes from primitive Candian locals. Now, corralled together, Sugar Crash make haste for the rendezvous point, where another platoon of Candians should be waiting for them. Crossing a chasm via a rickety bridge to a defensive palisade, they find an abandoned, battle-worn site, and themselves are ambushed by the local chocolate kiss population from across the chasm. Cutting the bridge and retreating within the walls to safety, they camp for the night, lick their smattering of wounds, and discuss diplomacy with a population that clearly has little understanding of language. Overnight, they receive a pair of letters, one mysteriously marked for Tox, the sour candy member of the party of Sugar Crash, and another from the platoon that abandoned the fort, penned by Jacoby's, the honey member, brother Chor, discusses the new rendezvous point. Morning dawns. Sugar crashes off to a new, sweet day.
I don't want to not enter the chat. Be manifested.
Wow.
This is
Oh my
the
God.
fella
It's the
behind the
bulb.
voice. The bulb above.
The
Hell, the bulb.
I gotta make it some sort of light bulb stuff
Oh shit, I forgot my hat.
for IRL.
It's an incredibly necessary part of the costume.
Oh my God, you should make it. Yeah, that would be so cool.
It's a terrible hat, but I love it so much.
It's a cute hat.
Thank
Don't lie
you.
to us.
Thank you.
It looks like it's
very-
tiger resistant. You can tell because
It
no
is.
tigers have skill.
Precisely. I've not been killed by a tiger yet. Therefore,
Therefore, it is fully
Exactly,
tiger
exactly.
resistant.
yes.
Let's get back to it. What was it y'all were kind of discussing? I know at some point you were like, we're gonna sneak up and be very nice.
I
Yes.
pitched almost pretend we have god powers level diplomacy.
Let's be gods.
It's
You know,
As
fuck
far as I can
it.
see,
Do
we're
we
the
got
only
this?
ones with magic up in here.
As
Up
far
in
as we
here.
know.
Up in
As
here.
far as we know.
Oh, especially because
I'm not gonna assume shit.
a lot
until we see
I.e.
it.
most spells require a verbal component. And you know what they can't do?
speak.
Speak.
You know, you're not wrong there.
Do we not hear any noises from them? Like they can.
Do they have mouths? Do they have
Hollers.
eyes?
Do they have
Have
eyes
they
and
no
mouths?
mouths?
No.
Must they scream?
Must they scream into the void?
Are they like sprinkle?
They have no mouth.
And
they must scream.
It was not apparent if they had eyes or mouths. You were looking
were
at them
very
from
far
about
away,
150, 200 feet away. But there was no googly eyes on them, quite the same as with your Tartguard entourage.
All right.
That being said, Tox, you also had some stuff that sort of.
Hey, Tox, let that
Yeah.
Is everybody awake?
Yeah, I guess like we would. spend
You're
the night.
finally
finally
awake.
awake, aren't you?
Ah,
Oh, actually,
Consider
yes.
it.
How do I pass you sneaky notes? Or you want me to just like say I do stuff?
You can. Messaging would probably be a bad idea, considering it will appear directly on the screen. I murder them. Why though?
Just write them down.
There
on
are
a-
post-it notes here.
That's
You
what
can
I've done.
Scroll
Yeah,
down,
I'm totally.
and I could just put it in my stash of. Oshi's note was definitely not relevant, but somehow very relevant.
Are you sure?
I was very
did
sure.
you just write like butt?
Even though
Can you show them?
Even though the real letter is on the back of this, pretend that it is not. It was just the only scratch
Is
paper.
there
I had.
another pencil or pencil?
There is perhaps a more
Hey, look, a
pencil.
pencil.
Ah,
Oh,
a many.
I will now
pencils.
use both. No, I've committed.
fuck you. It's mine now.
That being
Are we
said-
allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, I put not safe for kids.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck!
Fuck
Shit.
yeah.
Boom.
I certainly
Fucking
do
dead.
hate children.
The one really
Children
cool
are
child
not
out
safe
there.
The one kid who's watching this, you're cool.
You're
Seems
cool.
like an
Yeah.
OSHA violation.
See?
It's a PROSHA violation.
That being said, what were you saying about this scratch paper / paper?
Oh,
you
I
wrote?
wrote it on the back of the original letter, but pretend like it's not because that was the one piece of scratch paper.
What'd you
I
write?
had. And we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
I think Doc is gonna attempt to steal it from me.
100% yes.
Yeah.
That is incredibly fair.
I hope that you burned the
It
other
is
one.
the first thing I would do. I'm so
Mhm.
sorry.
Yeah.
I think we were planning on sneaking up on them, but then we agreed to take a short rest instead.
Yeah. That was the
The override
thing.
short rest.
I can load modifiers on this thing, right? Yes. 1, 2.
Dead air.
cricket noises, cricket noises. Candy cricket noises, candy cricket noises.
A solo for next to no reason, but a good one nonetheless.
I know, I think this is the quietest we've ever been.
Does there
for
ever
now.
need to be a reason for a
I'm
solo?
so absorbed in my journaling. It is mostly doodles.
It is
Good.
mostly doodles.
You got it at the end of the episode. You got to show off your doodles.
Every time.
Your doodles will be shown off as well.
I love your doodles. They're so
They're so
fucking
cute.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking
doodles.
adorable.
Fucking doodles.
God. I'm gonna stack dice until it's time.
I like that you had such an opportunity to write bigger.
I
did take about 20% of a post-it note to say everything that ever needed to be said. He typed it out. Tip of his finger.
Even the DM can't know.
Right. No one can know.
I
Even
do have a
can't know.
magnifying glass.
I don't get to know the results of my own.
Would you like some gluten? No, these will be next to useless.
Stash.
Tox, please roll a d20 for me. Do you die?
Well, you know what? Maybe not these ones. 'Cause
Fine.
these ones weren't good
Yeah.
to me either.
Would you like to
There's a
borrow a
whole-
d20?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a
I've been
Parmesan
blessed.
cheese.
The Parmesan
Yeah.
cheese holder is full of dice.
Oh, fuck
Well
For the
done.
first time.
Well done.
And
Okay, so we
existence
found your
roll of the
niche.
game.
It's catching.
Yeah.
Calderon is incredibly good at being stealthy. And you're incredibly good at finding violations of code.
Violations of the law.
Round and put down a fence to be more safe. Hanging over the edge from Pythons as he was belaying his way behind your where you were, Kavanaugh hangs from the side of the cliff face.
Hello.
Out for a morning climax.
Just hanging out.
Right.
Right.
Chilling.
Breakfast?
Yes.
Good.
So now that I've had a chance to read through my my work documents,
Somebody got
it appears that I've been requested by my supervisor to go to Buzzybrook. I think that they've had a similar issues that we've had, but I can't quite. I can't confirm that. It was kind of a vague letter. Would you like to read it?
Deeply with every fiber of my being, yes.
Do you want to read out loud?
That would be helpful.
It would be.
Yes.
It troubles me to have to pull you away from your important inspector duties, but Sucrosi requests your presence immediately.
Or Sucrosha.
Sucrosha, right, it's even in bold. Several of our associates have recently run into unfavorable circumstances that have dwindled our numbers. We have been attacked by a mystifying foe, but I am afraid you would not believe me if I told you that the supervisor has very little faith in you. You need to see this for yourself. It's paragraph break. Immediately. Period. Meet me at Buzzybrook post haste for further instruction and information. Your supervisor, the Rasher. Isn't Buzzybrook back that way? Like,
It is, yes. Indeed it is.
when we have an unfortunate decision. Your brother lies ahead.
Yes, I am frankly a little bit worried about the other forces that have been stranded out here, given the hostile locals that we have thus far encountered.
Yes.
I would like to at least try to rendezvous with them, and we can head on to Buzzybrook on the way back, if possible.
Perfect.
On the way back doesn't seem immediately like the letter suggested.
He also has the time to write a letter, which makes me think he's not bleeding out in the mountain pass.
Hopefully.
Not to insinuate directly that your brother is likely bleeding out in a mountain pass.
I'm certain that the bulb is watching over them, and it will be fine, and duties as our queen commands us.
Yes.
How far out are we precisely
It took us a
Which
week to get
from your brother?
DM.
another day.
A day out.
And how far away is Buzzard?
That would be probably two days. 2
Back.
days.
Yeah.
You would have to go back down the mountains, which is about a day, across the plains of Candia, and then back up into the mountains at a different point. Crossing through these mountains, uncharted, would probably take you like 4 or 5 days, because this is uncharted lands, and climbing over and under mountains without a map would be a little bit harder. It would be a shorter distance, but it would be a very jagged distance across.
Are we the right ones for the OSHA portion of this? We were contracted to chart the lands.
How do we know that they haven't gone further in, that these new natives haven't gone further inland? And wouldn't that be kind of a...
Would it not be beneficial to learn more about the natives to supply your superiors with information?
We could also potentially recruit more allies in order to help us with this problem if we go to my brother.
Leaving for such a trek on such late notice, with the current provisions, we do not have enough time nor resources to do both treks.
Mhm.
I understand that I was prepared for our first endeavor. Focus on the goal. I am here to learn more about the natives and be able to create a diplomatic relation with them before I endeavor elsewhere. However, I'm not part of Sukrasha. So your own supervisor has duties you know him best, I assume. I don't know if it is best that you maybe split from party at some point to create your own reinforcements, and we can always come join, because this seems like a very big explorative endeavor. Can't do both at the same time.
Well, I feel like, and I'm not certain that I could do so in the middle of by myself.
There are hostile chocolate chips that are attempting to kill everything. There is an additional complication in that this fort, this mostly looted fort, was supposed to be our restock point, leaving us restock pointless. That is a problem.
Well, I suppose it's only a day or so ahead. Maybe we could walk quickly. How fast, y'all?
Very fast.
Exceptionally.
I can become faster if need be. And
Can you?
they transform into a horse.
Okay.
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 You mean
Oh.
A meat, yes, no. A honey-colored meat that's looks kind of glossy and just slightly translucent.
If speed is of the essence, do we want to quickly try to rescue the other meat or risk overburdening the one meat? What are the...
I
Well,
am
now we
relieved
have
now.
Yes.
That's true. How do we put this delicately? Can we ride you?
Yes, I am. This is a good function. If
We've already
Yeah,
been
too.
riding together, I assume that it would...
I am as sturdy as any of the meats you would find here, perhaps even sturdier, but time is of the essence, as this farm does not last forever. I don't know if Meeps can talk in this form.
That's a problem for long-scale overland travel. So first choice to make. Go rescue meat and be impressive with magic, or head start in opposite direction, and then opposite direction question, OSHA or brother?
Or brother and then ocean, I guess.
Yes, what first?
Your brother may be in actual danger.
My priorities are clear.
I agree.
I believe, for a power play reason, rescuing the Meep, while also making sure that we do not act as actual hostiles to the new natives, may be increasingly beneficial as we venture to further territories for the brother. Meep? Meep.
I choose that sounds like a sense to me.
Meep.
Hey.
Ducks, the lady.
The Meep nods.
You as a meep.
They also say meep. All
Whether
right.
or not you're
Let's go
talking
get the
about
meat that almost
Well,
threw
wow.
me over the edge.
No, I just think it's fucking fun. Talking
This
Meep.
talking horse. Talking me.
I just think it's hilarious.
Oh, you could talk.
Both.
It raises some disturbing questions as to whether or not the meeps can talk and choose not to.
This whole
It sounds
time.
strange and distorted
Just judging us.
through
Silent.
Meep vocal cords.
Silent.
I'm just like packing very quickly. Okay,
We
time
must
is
go.
up.
We must go now. And with that, the direction that you are heading is towards these, where Quilliam had found the smaller encampment of the quad of Hershey Kisses and the trio of chocolate bars, right? With the one meat, not any larger.
Yes, we're just gonna try to go be impressive and then run away.
Fantastic. You head in that. Yeah, isn't it cute?
It's so fucking cute. I just noticed it. It's
Not
awesome.
quite perfect, but we'll work.
I cannot read the dice inside. I feel
I got a
like
That's
really
it's a
cool
cool
one at a
idea.
wedding, and I put it in my backpack, and it like.
No.
Stinky.
It was all glittery and awesome, and
Well, your backpack is not glittery. That's a small fringe benefit.
Yeah.
For you and only you. That being said, how now that the day is anew, would we like to try and make the group strength check to get the bridge back online, or are we going to try and belay across the chasm using a single?
I am an entire Meep. I can pull a rope.
Yes, and I remembered one of the feats I took. So I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes and get unseen servants to do my work for me at a range.
Unseen servants are not very strong.
They're not, but neither am I.
I mean, I think the maximum is 5 pounds that they can carry, if I'm not mistaken.
Strength of 8.
Oh.
And I can't fly.
You know, that's reasonable. That's reasonable.
It could carry the rope back.
It could
to
carry
you.
the rope, actually. No, you're
Across
right. You're
the
right
chasm,
there.
and that's about it.
Yeah.
hey, William, what a morning, huh?
My strength.
My goodness, you have a spoon. I do.
He looks at you quizzically.
Who?
I don't think strength is the I would be fine with belaying across because I'm very quick and I'm used to doing so. But we have
Nobody
Meeps.
else is, unfortunately.
But we have Meeps.
You do
have
have the
Meeps.
Meeps,
So-
and they have rested for the night.
We have the
Sigh.
Of the Meeps.
Let's
We have
pull the
all
bridge
these. We
since
have
we need people who need to walk across.
We are trying to bring him back across.
Yes.
We bring him this far, and then there's a belaying rope. I'm
We
not
can
sure how
only do
Meeps.
from one side.
Can't do it.
No thumbs.
With the Meeps well rested overnight and all of you taking the overnight rest that is necessary, largely you don't have to belay across, I'm realizing. Now that the Meeps have enough strength, they can do, with the unseen servant, they can do the pulling work and y'all can reattach the bridge without your own backs being put into it. Yes.
Ah, magical laziness.
Magical laziness.
If only they had a new flying.
That being said, the bridge is up and y'all go back across it now that it's secured. How would you like to approach this encampment?
Stealth checks?
I'm pro self check.
I'm first.
Stealth check?
Stealth,
Group
how far
stealth,
away is
individual
this?
stealth check. It's not far at all. It's probably only about like a half-hour walk with Meeps. They did not camp incredibly far from you.
Wonderful. Trying to figure out if I should stealth check as a horse or as a
You
people.
can!
Oh wait,
I would love
what
to.
are we rolling?
I'd
Stealth.
love to stealth check as a horse, actually.
19.
I need to figure out what the stealth check of my horse
Before
is.
we read all of those off, Limey says, if you folks
As a
don't
Meep.
mind, me, Razzleberry, and the Banan-knights will probably stay back. We plank a bit heavy.
It's true.
You're one.
So if there is a signal that perhaps you would like to give me, in case it goes bad, how do you want to contact me?
Do you have
Owl?
any cantrips that might be
I have
Let's have an owl.
and now?
How about
And
a
vicious mockery and prestidigitation.
how about a
I think
blast of
that's
searing bolt energy descending from the heavens? That
Blast.
sounds that'll do it for me, really. Right, because that's really obvious.
If you hear my thunder wave go off,
Thunder wave. Okay. Yes. Okay.
you will know we are in trouble.
If you see flashing lights or large sounds or the sounds of fighting in the distance, it's probably a sign to come running.
Okay.
Basically, there are many redundancies.
I wanted to know if there was a specific subtle one, like perhaps like a flare of some kind. But that's okay.
Screaming.
Yes, very subtle.
Screaming,
Explosions.
exploding. We'll come. We'll be ready for you. If we send the owl, just come slowly. If we send not the owl, but the blasting things, come quickly. Okay, yes. We'll also keep the Tartguard here, if that's okay. Yes, please. Okay, yes.
As we
Can
hear
I get
giggling in the
some,
background.
Yeah.
They have stacked upon each other. They're like 5 Tartguards in a trench coat right now.
God.
They're giving each other piggyback rides. The one on the bottom is crawling as the weight of the other Tartguards has weighed them down.
I'm going
I
to
love
discreetly
this.
give Razzleberry inspiration.
For sure.
You have it.
I don't know. Okay, Razzleberry has it. Continue your way on your way.
Stealth-wise, this 26 is actually 24, so I still haven't loaded for sleight.
I rolled a 19. I'm very stealthy Meep. Thank
I
you very
am
much.
What
deeply
are we
impressed.
What are we supposed to roll?
Personal.
I'm just imagining that how Meeps move is just like
A 6.
6.
It's sort of a leaping, bounding sort of.
Ah,
It's
time
an
for
bouncy.
another exciting morning ride.
But like they don't have legs.
Charge!
Exactly.
I rolled a 9 for
But
stealth.
they're not loud.
If Jacoby dies, I'm playing a Meep cowboy.
I love that concept so much.
It's time.
Get along.
Crossbow.
Get along.
Get along, little Meeps.
I like that during your moment of like being very sobering about like my brother may be in trouble, a picture of your brother like frolicking with the Tartguard.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe in
Like
trouble.
you're like maybe in trouble. He's like, yay!
Watching all of the, watching
might
all
be
of
in
the.
trouble.
Yeah.
Go fish.
Just like watching all the Meeps like taking action on each other, it just reminds them like, oh, they would probably be crawling all over Jacob because he can like lift 10 of them. And oh gosh, I hope he's okay.
For sure.
Where is it that Tox is needed? I'm just taking notes.
Buzzy Rook.
Buzzy Brook. That being said, we got a 19, a 9,
19.
a 19.
It says 26, actually 24.
21.
Because I need.
All right, we needed more than half of the group to pass,
Yeah,
so
like a-
with that, everyone passes.
Oh, this is fun.
Spooking along, y'all guys.
Spooking along.
Being real spooky. You'll approach the encampment from beyond one of the frosty chocolate snowbanks. Overlooking it, they don't see you. It's clear that they are packing up, rather. They're packing up. This group looks to be nomadic. At least this group of 7 appears to be fully nomadic. They have like a sort of mobile tepee-esque tent that they have broken down and are carrying. They have not put it on the meat, which is kind of a strange choice, but it is what it is. The meat now does have a necklace made for it of little tiny pieces of chocolate.
That's a little more worrying.
Oh god.
Like clearly chewed up Tootsie Pop pieces on a string.
Oh
Was
no.
the necklace chocolate that was alive at one point, or is it like chocolate from the mountain?
I would like to ask the chocolate then.
Medicine
No, it's
check.
clearly like pebbles that were picked up from the ground.
It's not like chocolate bones.
No, it's not chocolate bones. It's
Chocolate
clearly
ears.
they punched holes in like rocks.
The ear of a gummy bear on
There is no ear of a gummy bear on
Sir
there.
Sheridan.
He's gone.
No.
Oh, piece of no,
Sweet
shut up! Don't
Sheridan.
talk like that.
We have chunks of him on the club.
You do
He
have
just
some
had-
goo.
he
of
just
it.
had a
He'll be with us
bastard. He's
forever.
fine.
You still do have a club from Tootsie Pop Club. What would we like to do with this?
I think Honeyglow would talk to them and is like, would you like me to go ahead, given I am an animal, and they don't seem to respond in a hostile manner to creatures.
Suss out their intelligence in any way?
They are capable of forming structures, which puts them about 2 notches ahead of where I thought previously. Let's see, how do we test an entity's intelligence that can speak?
We don't know.
Actually, as we approach them,
We
do we
see
hear
different
any chatter, chittering, clacking, anything of the kind?
Yeah,
they
are they
don't.
making any noise?
They don't make sound.
It's a little unsettling,
That
but
is
fair
a little
enough.
bit creepy.
Strange.
They don't make vocal sounds. They
Sir!
clearly the
That's-
chocolate rods of the teepee make sound as they knock against each other, but there's no vocal
It's
sounds
not
coming from
rude.
them.
There's no. How do they coordinate? Fascinating.
Do they seem to be doing any kind of
They do
communication?
hand gestures at each other.
Interesting.
It seems like they have some sort of
Yes.
ASL language,
Yeah.
some sort of primitive
Yeah.
American
Cool.
sign language that they're using to communicate things.
My proposal would be we simply fade out of the shadows, actually show ourselves, give them some food, heal, take the meat, and go.
What if you send your servants
Ah,
with an offering?
I kind of like the
Delivery
sending the
package.
meat idea.
All right.
owl and meat with delivery package.
A floating, yes, I think that would be a good idea.
meant
I only have
unseen
I have very
servants.
few minutes left on this.
Oh,
one.
so then it's a hovering.
Haha.
That is more impressive. Give me a moment. And ritual cast unseen servant.
Unseen servant.
I can do that, yeah.
I'm actually going to say I have very limited time in this form. If we're going to do something, we need to do it now.
10 minutes.
DM.
I think it's
Roll a d20. You're looking higher than a 10. Anything less, and you will run out. You will have just enough time to have this interaction
All right.
and get back in haste.
Fair enough. Okay.
all right. Unseen servant's orders are to hover a food package as eerily and impressively as hoverably possible. Leave it. Grab meat brains.
Jacoby, how would you like to add to that?
I would like to go out as a Meep. Actually, I think it would be funny to have the Meep grab the other Meeps,
I
right?
was gonna say that,
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, that is bad.
That was really cute.
yeah. Should the food include a health potion?
We got extras, but
I don't think they know what that is, so
Yeah.
they might just glug it down, and that would be.
And then it is a glass container.
Yeah.
we do like those. I do like containers.
I was more worried about them choking on it than thinking it was.
It's sugar glass.
I mean, I've not seen them have orifices that they put food in. They must consume sustenance somehow.
There's a lot of questions
We're
here.
not
And then just up the. It's like
Are they sustained by the bulb?
Perhaps.
As are we all.
The bulb does give many miracles. All right.
And
Can
she
you-
rolls her eyes.
Can you
Yes or no on the potion?
hear them?
no.
Heal them while in meat form?
No, I cannot.
Wow,
If I see any of them injured, I can return to my own form and heal them.
one of them is. I got him. I mean, I unfortunately had to wound the fellow to dissuade him.
But these
From
aren't
violence.
nomadic, right? These aren't the ones that attacked us, though. Are
Is it the same
Oh,
one
there's
that
the-
talked? Yeah.
Okay. If I see the wounded one, then I will go over and heal them, and then
You could
get
always-
out of there as fast as possible.
You could always take a potion with you, but not give it to them unless you can administer it yourself.
Reasonable. It's okay. I have a health potion on me.
Jacoby, lead the charge.
All right.
Tell us how
Jacoby's
it
going
goes.
to meander out there and just meep, into the clearing. Just not sneaking at all, just sort of hopping in there. This weird, non-powdery, translucent meep.
Yes, a sort of translucent. You immediately, when they see you, the chocolate bars grab clubs, and then realizing that you are a bouncing animal, put the clubs back down. Continue.
Just gonna get closer. Is the food package also coming along? Just going to approach them. Can I do a perception check for
You may.
the injured
Should
one.
we put like a Candian
Where's
sigil
my-
on that
There
thing?
it is. Maybe. I think that would be a good idea because it would associate us with good things instead of bad. Well, but it
Are
also
we
might draw
flying?
suspicion. So
I mean, they have been murdering us for a month? How long have they been killing our forces?
Indeterminate amount
About
of time.
at least 2 weeks
Okay.
is how
2
long the
weeks.
Banan-knights
A
have been up
fortnight.
here.
Fortnight. All right.
They've been fucking us for a fortnight.
That's a lot.
That is 15 to spot an injured chippy boy.
Yes,
So,
you can
I
tell that
mean-
they're injured because they have
I think
A-
they're bananas.
Like a-
bolt wound in the side of their chocolate
Oh,
kiss
it's like a
form.
charm.
Clearly, there was a hole there, and their surface is largely smooth as their chocolate kiss, except for that area where clearly the arrow has gone in. It is bandaged over. As a medical professional,
Yes.
it is not bandaged over the right way. It's clear that they took like the dirt and like patched it over with literally just like dirt and poultice.
Jacoby is going to approach the injured one. Does like
a
assuming it doesn't like run away.
The one of the chips interposes itself between you and the injured one.
I'm just gonna like sort of cock the meat head and just sort of like try to sidle around.
Picturing, like,
It
a-
reaches for you with its hand upward.
Gonna do the animal thing of like bonking the hand
Bonk
with
the
head.
hands?
Yes.
The chocolate kiss pets the top of your sticky head.
Gross.
It only makes it through about 1 or 2 strokes before its hand is covered in stickiness.
The stickiness just sort of goes back to the head. It's a very unsettling meat.
I'm going to have a hard time killing these chocolate things after
After this precious encounter.
Just gonna look at
It
it with the
allows
blank
you to
meep
move.
eyes.
Yeah,
Like,
it gives you a pet,
funny
and then it
eyes.
realizes you're not coming to incite violence upon
Yeah.
this wounded Hershey kiss, and it allows you what it is you will be doing.
Gonna get like very close to the injured one, just sort of like bonk head against it, and then going to
food packet.
as a bonus action. I think it's bonus action at least. Going to drop wild shape form, turn into a humanoid person. I'm going to use my main action to cast Cure Wounds, just sort of slap a sticky hand. I mean, gently, but like with it quickly so that people can't stop me.
Mhm.
You thought it was a beep, but it was me. Drop the deal.
Golden wind, anyways.
There it is. Yes.
Going to sort of like gently peel away the chocolate wrap, just like put a hand, like the glowing light is going to come out and heal the wound. Just gonna sort of stand there for just a second and see if they get instantly murdered before walking away.
Fair. You, as a Meep, put your head to the questionable head of the Hershey kiss, the point of the kiss. A very spirited away moment in
Yes.
which the horse head is against the person's
Yeah,
head.
exactly.
And if the Hershey kiss had eyes, they would be closed.
Oh.
It very quickly changes as Jacoby's honey humanoid formed head is against this other one's head. Your little Meep, your now Jacoby eyes open up, cast a spell, magic lights, move the
Tear off
pulses
the
aside,
wounds.
Wound slaps.
and heal up the wound instantaneously with magic. Ain't that crazy? They seem startled,
Reasonable.
but not. They have not attacked you. They don't seem aggressive.
Okay. I think Jacoby like looks around, sort of nods to them, and heads directly towards the Meep. Our Meep, rather.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the reins. He's just going to slowly lead it back into the woods. Are they going to stop
let you
me?
do it.
They let you do it.
They let you do it.
Yeah.
They respect nature enough. They're like, it's just
It's
circle of life.
transactional nature.
Yes.
You gave me life. You take horse.
I would like my horse back, thank you very much.
I take horse.
The unseen servant carved the Candian sigil in the dirt, make it look really fancy.
As Jacoby sees, they're gonna like form like a little honey flower in their hand. They're gonna leave it by the sigil as they leave.
And this is allowed and everything. They do not attack you. They allow you to take the meat. They allow you to heal them.
A honeysuckle, if you will. Like
Yeah, baby.
oh, just like a little wreath. If that could be arranged, or, yeah.
They are not ready to fight you. They do not seem like an aggressive troop.
Fair enough.
You do so and you return.
They
to
do.
your
I
friends.
think Jacoby does like a little like wave and then like a thing to the bulb above, just because they kind of see it as like, that's how these people communicate. I guess we'll try to do some kind of
sort of. I'll make a symbol that feels like it's appropriate.
Yeah, non-violence, ideally.
They're all just like,
You rendezvous thereafter with the rest of Sugar Crash, and I could imagine, unless someone says otherwise, very quickly rendezvous.
Yes,
with the Banan-knights.
Like as soon as they're out of
Tartguard.
sight, they're gonna like drop it. Like because they were probably like walking very slowly, elegantly, just like, and then as soon as like, all right, time to go.
Drop it.
Just in
Well,
case.
Jacoby, right?
I didn't
Excellent
get
work.
killed, and that is all I feel I can ask after our previous encounters.
It does raise more questions.
It does. They are surprisingly, well, non-violent is not the word. Non-violent in individual encounters? I don't know
Right.
what precisely triggered the attacks last time, if just the presence of a person isn't enough to spark violence.
Was it a nocturnal thing? Was this associated with the fort? Do
Maybe-
they not like my face?
I
It could
wonder
be.
if they've had worse encounters with other parties, perhaps.
If I may,
Perhaps they're
given the receptions that we received upon mounting the mountain ourselves from some of these forces,
Yes.
perhaps it is simply a reactionary.
Yes, because even the Banan-knights were paranoid and attacked anything they saw that even vaguely resembled Candians. After spending just a few weeks in the forest, perhaps this is what these people have dealt with upon having a single bad encounter with strangers from another place.
Understandable. I see. As someone who is familiar with some of the cultures of the nobility, the working. I'm blanking on his name. King of Candia.
King Amathar.
Amathar. Yes.
Former king,
His Majesty Amathar Hawks. He's more of a shoot first, ask questions.
Emperor Amathar. Yes.
Emperor. Yes, of course.
Emperor.
Emperor.
Amathar.
Emperor.
Partners.
Emperor Thor.
Hearthstone.
I think I still think of him as.
The king,
Yeah.
because he was the king until the last episode. Yeah.
just very stressfully like doing a line of something or other kind of candy powder off my hand, like
We're back.
everybody's okay, we're all okay. Everybody, you okay?
Before we hook back up
Surprisingly peaceful.
with the rest of the party, I have a, shall we say, diplomatically non-advantageous thing to point out. As we were attacked by these small drop men, we were inside the fort. The entities outside that were visible from their direction were the Banan-knights.
Oh.
Occurs to me that we may not have been attacked. This is a hypothetical thing about it.
That
Right
would
back
make
to our
sense.
completely peaceful party that we trust entirely.
Yes, indeed. I guess we are off.
You rendezvous back, taking the Meep with you, Jacoby as the person holding the reins on the Meep. you note now up close that there is an additional thing attached to the little necklace.
Oh, yeah.
It is very Liam Wilhelmina. There is a seed attached
Oh.
to the necklace at some point, which is very out of place for here. It's not a chocolate seed. It's very clearly like an actual seed. It's like a flat, like a sunflower seed,
Sunflower
or like
seed.
a piece of grain seed. So there's
Huh.
Ceresian.
Can I do a check of nature check?
Nature check, yeah, absolutely.
To determine what kind of seed this is?
17 please. 19 total?
19 total says that this is not a sunflower seed, which
Oh.
would give you the wrong answer.
Reasonable.
It's flat. It's sort of oblong and round.
Shaped like a sunflower seed,
It's
but not
shaped like a sunflower, but it doesn't have the point. It's kind of different, rounded.
Oh.
Being that you got a 19, this is a pumpkin seed.
Oh, interesting. They're gonna like squint and talk and like mention this to the party. It's like there seems to have been some Gordians around here, presumably, and just like show them the pumpkin seed on the necklace.
Is this a pumpkin seed as in something they might have found from the ground, or this is a pumpkin seed as in?
Yeah,
That was what I was worried about.
The pumpkins, the pumpkin seeds, I would not say are the lifeblood so much of pumpkins.
Organs.
Or they're not quite organs.
This
Okay.
man's like
What are
A
they?
shit?
Yeah, are
Is
they
this-
like
is this shit
you know,
for
seed in
pumpkins?
a literal
I hope not.
No,
No.
not. This would be like a,
Piece of
what is a
hair?
handkerchief?
Oh,
It's like it would be like a favor of a pumpkin person, or an object that they would carry with them to sow more pumpkins.
Maybe like a
and
pumpkin
peace
coin,
offerings.
a coin.
A coin, essentially. Yeah, this is an object that a pumpkin person would carry with them.
Also, question: are squash a part of Vegetania or Fructera?
They're part of Vegetania, but everyone knows this, that part of the Ravening War, now 16 years hence, was due to the border clashings between Fructera and Vegetania, because it's unclear who is vegetable and who is fruit.
There are definitely some middle ground.
Technical
there.
editions of fruits, and then
greens. So the leafy greens would be pure vegetarians, and then the peppers and gourds and things like that.
a
More
sort
in
of
the gray area.
middle gray area, and so that caused enough clashing to
Okay.
incite
Heard.
World War.
All right.
They would have split.
I think Jacoby's going to turn to the Banan-knights and say, have you seen any Gordians around here?
No.
Have you heard of any parties traveling to this area? Perhaps part of the Imperial forces?
There's, I could imagine. You speak to the mountain knight, Sir Clovis.
Yeah.
That Amathar would not just send us, but we have yet to encounter any others.
All right.
What do you mean, Amazon, not just you imagine? Wouldn't you know?
We were sent out rather quickly.
How long ago?
Why was it such a rush?
Amathar is an excellent emperor and good, His Majesty, especially in first actions. So,
Is that right?
calling upon his right-hand friend, his right-hand folks immediately would seem very fair.
Well, yes.
We are the first available in Commodore, as Commodore is in Fructera, so we would be the first people sent out by Amathar as we live in the Emperor's palace.
All right. I would just think that this would be rather important journey to prepare for. So it seems a bit unusual to rush out and send your forces in without coordinating anything.
I would never call ill upon Emperor Amathar. He is a shoot first, plan later individual.
That does seem in character for him.
Yeah.
Not that I would either question our emperor, of course.
We would never.
I said that's quite a criticism from one of his right-handsmen. Do you think he is reckless with your well-being?
I trust him implicitly. I merely state that when he asks for an order to be done, question it would be a far worse decision than to just comply.
Interesting.
So your brother's not getting any less dead. Let's
I would appreciate it if people would stop referring to my brother as deceased or in great jeopardy of peril.
I am certain
I
you
said
found
less
him
dead.
well and graced by the bone.
Appreciate it, Kavanaugh. Appreciate it.
Shall we
Yes.
Yes.
walk and talk?
Walk and talk.
Walk and talk. Right
Where are we
and talk.
walking?
I kind of did assume that we were kind of like
Right,
running
yeah.
along and having
We
a
were.
conversation.
You're headed to
The
the
whole
new
time.
rendezvous point, yes?
Yes.
Yes. And
I don't think we
today's
are
travel?
rushing. I think we are just
Today's
traveling.
Today's travel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keeping pace, but not rushing.
I think the Jacobi's probably like getting a little ahead of themselves and kind of looking like they're trying to rush, even though like most of the party they're still keeping the nice side of the party, but they're clearly anxious to be ahead and get there as
Pretty
soon as
much.
possible.
I'll do the Quilliam a little bit ahead scout spiral.
The
Wouldn't he get
usefulness
very
of
dizzy
William-
doing that? Just going sorry.
spiraling
Stupid
forward.
questions.
Like NASCAR
Going
owls.
circles.
Left turn, left turn, left turn.
Guess what?
Another left turn. Quilliam is particularly useful today, as up here there are some sort of sentient goops
Oh,
floating around. They are not the chocolates that
sentient
you
goops.
have
Sentient
mentioned,
goops.
but there is some sort of foliage or fauna. It's unclear. There's sort of like a melted goop that exists up here, and rightfully, being that you have a rendezvous point, instead of crossing paths with what might be local fauna, Quilliam is able to advise you against direct contact.
Do you mention the
Unless-
fact that there are sentient groups ahead?
Oh yes, I'll full on like give a description. It seems to be blah 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 blah. blah.
Liquid creatures, you say?
Yes.
Would it not be prudent to perhaps study them on the way, as this does seem to be a very unique
Study.
opportunity? Yes.
Are you-
Yes, Kit Kat.
Certain you would like to delay getting to your brother, definitely not bleeding out on the mountain pass.
Absolutely not.
To study the goops. I'm okay with this.
Perhaps not take too overly long, but perhaps stopping by and
I can
Just
write as we walk.
periodically. Yes.
You are very into this,
Uh,
both of you.
sorry if it is. a
Well,
bit
that's normal
unusual.
for me. It's weird for this one.
I'm just like chain smoking
Look,
my
I've known-
candy cigarettes.
So going to look at frantic sibling, not quite runner, chain smoke, hyper study, and I'm going to start riding next to Marvel.
I was like mostly again hanging out with Jacoby because I'm like, yeah, it's faster paced,
Yeah.
faster paced.
Jacoby is giving you a little bit more of the cold shoulder since you snubbed them on the letter information, but they're still like,
It was great work.
Work letters.
I thought I could trust you to be open.
My friends. My friend.
It is.
Would you like to make a stealth? Or would
Would
you
love
like
to make a
everyone to
stealth.
try? Kit Kat, especially, and Jacoby, please feel free to make a stealth against this fauna.
Everybody or just
Just the two, just those investigating the goo.
Goo.
Goopy goopy goop.
What does
do
the
you
goo
think?
look like?
Do we back them up or do we wait from safety? This is all a little weird. What I would do.
ooh,
I will observe.
19 total. Oh yeah.
Best course of action.
Okay. So as we were traveling, we just come across the goop.
Well, after pointing out a perfectly safe way to not investigate this maybe murder horror show, I will point out where they definitely are.
Goop? What kind of
Yeah.
goop? What nature?
Tell you what, assuming you survive this, here.
I think
get me
in
a sample
response
too.
to, hey,
Do you
it's
mean
kind of
Lyle?
weird that you're interested in this shit, I think Jacoby will like come forward and be, it is, I've never really known many others like me. Being perfectly honest, part of why I am interested in this new land is to see if I'm not sure if there would be any others of my kind around. It's only been me and my brother for my entire life, and well, there's nowhere really that we tend to fit into.
Oh. I'm sorry, I'm from a pack of 12.
A little pack of 12 chocolates. Meanwhile, I'm just like fretting, like maybe we don't touch the goop though. Maybe though we.
And I have my own like study gloves. They're just like leather like they're literally like just leather gloves that handle things that could be sharp, dangerous, or any way that I constantly use when I'm exploring new things.
Garden gloves.
They're like hard.
What if it melts the gloves?
We will oversee from the ridge. If you need help, scream.
Scream. That's usually the plan.
Entirely reasonable.
I wish to do a investigation check on the goop. What color is the goop?
What color is the goop?
The goop is brown.
Oh.
How viscous?
Maple
Like,
syrup?
Yeah, probably as thick as
Molasses?
as actual slime.
Oh.
Like
play slime.
Huh.
It's sort of a shiny liquid chocolate goo.
Interesting.
Okay.
I think Jacoby's gonna look a little bit disappointed that it's not.
It's not honey.
Because like there
It's- I'll
totally
just take my
is
phone.
like a stage of modeling chocolate where it's still pliable. It's still pliable like a dough
Yeah.
and a slime essentially,
Yeah.
but not quite melted, not quite solid.
Mhm.
That'd be cool. Okay.
All right.
I wish to do investigation check. That's terrible. That's two.
Jacoby is assisting in this. If you would like to,
I would like
help
assistance.
action.
Mhm.
in this.
So is that an advantage
Yes.
roll?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Jacoby.
You're welcome.
That's a nat 20 now.
Ah,
Nice.
much better.
Oh,
Absolutely
So my method of doing this is I have like small daggers and knives, but they're not like fighting daggers. They're literally like scalpels to like take samples of things
Oh.
and to like scrape. It's literally to scrape
For the
and find
glass
samples.
Poke it with a stick.
I have tools for this.
Are they sticks?
No. Sometimes some of them can be
Are
stick-like.
sticks.
Some of them look like sticks.
They're at least partially
I
sticks.
think they're sticks.
It's
nat
A stirring
20.
rod.
Pair of chopsticks.
Okay, with the nat 20 and my gloves on, I carefully cut and scrape a sample, a very small one, to fit in a glass vial that Kavanaugh gave me,
Mhm.
and I place it in the vial to study later, see the
Mhm.
composition of it, see how it may be affected by different conditions.
Does it scream when it's stabbed?
Does it scream?
It does not scream when it is stabbed.
Does
but
it react from any way?
It very much does react. Would you
Couldn't
like
have
to
taken some
fight
from off the
this
ground?
thing?
No.
Okay.
I'm very much so just doing like a small bit, like as if I was taking a medical sample.
But does it want to fight?
Or like
As-
taking- like
when
taking
it
a
is
pear.
touched, not having visual organs, clear visual organs, as you
Does it
pull
bleed?
a bit off of this melted goo, it is viscous enough that it pulls with you. And it is clear after a moment that not only are you pulling it, it is giving you essentially a pseudopod. Like it's on, you're making an arm as you extend the
Does it
piece
just like
away.
crawl up the arm?
In your best interest, you cut a piece off with one of your daggers and have to use your cat-like movement to create distance away from it very quickly, as it is clear that from its pseudopods that it tries to like grab
Try to come back,
you where you were, but you had to take a tip of its little leg and move out of its range before it grabbed at you and pulled you in.
Oh.
During that time, you do notice that by it extending pseudopods from itself, it thins its main mass out enough
Because it's stretching out.
because it stretches out. It doesn't create more. It's just stretching its shape. Within it is a small purplish crystal, a pauldron of Fructeran steel,
Oh no. Fruit leather.
and yes, and another pumpkin seed.
Oh.
3 things are very clearly within this thing.
So by me stretching it out, it revealed those items, and
Those
I'm
items
guessing
at some point, yeah,
when
are somewhere
I
within
went
it.
away from it, went and switched back to it.
It is slowly sort of meandering across the ground as if it were like a very fast snail or a very fast slug, as it just kind of like goops itself across the terrain.
You just have to like keep stepping back, and you will stay out of range.
How fast is this thing?
It's moving incredibly slowly. It's moving at maybe
Have you seen
like
lava
a
move?
mile
Like
per
when it's
hour
kind of
or
just like
less.
What is this?
It's just sort of gooing and rolling over itself.
That's what we're calling them now.
A dollop?
They're dollops.
Those are the dollops. Delightful. Delightful
A
little
local
dollops.
Do
Are they-
you
are they
still
warm?
has a raven? I'm not sure about that.
Are they like warm or cold or like what temperature are
I-
You
these?
lost track of this?
I'm pretty sure they just kind of dropped things off and then left.
Sort of lukewarm.
Reasonable.
Lukewarm to cold.
Alright.
Considering I
Like
already said
like melted ice cream.
Oh.
Sort of the soup of ice cream.
Ooh, love it.
I am curious as to what is inside this thing, and I see nothing stopping us from annihilating it by range and then extracting the remnants of our fallen for more information about their fate. Also, crystal?
You think these are hostile?
I think they either found dead Fructerans and whatever the crystal is, or they made dead Fructerans.
it didn't appear necessarily hostile, but definitely seeking out itself to self-preserve itself. Maybe it was simply surviving, eating what it can like any other creature.
She found or made? Illusions, and is a bit distracted. There are bits of actual Fructera here?
A
Pumpkin seed.
a pumpkin seed, and a strange crystal.
So only items, that would be.
The crystal worries me.
I do not know about the arcane magics enough to identify it based on the amount of time I got visual. However, we can always attempt to stretch it out for a temporary reason in order to extract the resources and then simply allow it to move on its way.
We have spent enough time. We have spent quite a bit of time here.
Could I try an arcana to identify the crystally bit?
Yeah,
Can
it's
Jacoby
only
spend
something.
an arcana to identify the crystal bit because they were there?
I think, well, it's
That's
not
a better
visible.
idea. I
It's,
was not that close to it.
it's not visible until you
Until you
stretch out the
stretch it.
creature. So maybe
Someone
we
has to
can
be in
coax it.
some level of danger
Yeah.
to coax it enough to be stretched.
Or,
I was just thinking.
So is that
That is
Or-
a yes.
um,
How do we kill them?
Natural 20, total of 22.
I was simply going to suggest taking some rations and giving it some bait.
Now
in
tell me, is
opposite
this
direction.
is this part of a member of the Rock's family? Did someone lose an arm?
That would be so sad.
Is the dollop technically royalty now?
The dollar is at least 1%
The
more.
Emperor Amathar Rocks is dead. Eaten by
Long
Dollop.
live the
By
dollop.
the dollar. By putting a Kit Kat, it started moving in the direction that you pulled its pseudopods. What feels like blindly, just in that direction continuously.
So I
So
also
by
want
putting-
to test something.
Mhm.
Now that I have a bit of it secured in a vial, how is it reacting in the vial toward the main
Is the
body?
vial still? Is the
Like,
stuff in the vial
Are
still
they
moving?
trying to seek out the lost bit?
In the vial, it appears to be inert.
So
Like cutting
lifeless
off a
without.
finger, it is.
Okay,
It is an inert.
that is
amount of
reassuring.
mass.
At least.
That was a little bit of my word. Okay, good. So, but what about the body itself then? Is it seeking out bits? Like, is it still reaching out toward that direction?
Towards what the direction?
Like, here's my vial, here's the body of the thing. Is it still going like
Did it lose interest in the
No,
vial?
it is.
Or it
It
got far
appears
away
to be interested in the largest piece of edible material.
Got it.
What
Define
defines
edible.
At the moment,
Food
it
world.
was you, so it's hard to test whether one of the vial or you, because as you backed away, it oozed towards you.
Yes.
By putting a ration down, it moves towards the ration that's on the ground. And
I'm totally
not
doing
moving.
this as we're deciding, like, what do we do? I'm
Reasonable.
sitting here, like, testing
Playing with the goop.
and
set.
playing with the goop. And so I take a bit of my, like, fruit leather, which is literally my beef jerky.
Yeah.
And I put the bits, like, little bits of fruit leather
From the
in
fruit
opposite
cows.
directions.
From the fruit cap.
In opposite directions. So the goop has to spread in opposite directions to
And
find
grab
food.
the leathers
Yes.
as it eats it up. Yeah, that gives you the result of the nat 20. This is for sure not a piece of like an actual person.
Okay.
This
that's
small
reassuring.
crystalline structure in here looks to be like a piece of stained glass from some sort of Candian temple or some
Temple?
sort of Candian monolith.
So it's building. Are there any like
it's
symbols
like a piece
on it?
of a building.
Oh.
With a nat 20, I will give you advantage on a, what did you do, Nitro or Arcana?
Arcana.
Arcana.
Because I was assuming it was.
I'll give you advantage on history. There is a part of a symbol attached to it, but
Advantage on history. I'm pretty good at those. Whew. Well, that's 16 total.
it's like a quarter of a symbol of the sugar plum fairy.
Oh.
Sir Limey, you're the provision master for this. Could I borrow a fishing net for you? And 2 sticks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
I
you.
can't see why you wouldn't.
So I'm going to fold fishing net over itself. Put it really, really tight so it's a sieve.
Mhm.
Stake it down really well and step away from it. Would anyone care to lead your new plaything through the item sorter?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I start making
Too much
like
fun for me to
Little
just
fruit leather
kill it.
trail.
little fruit leather trail. I
think-
totally have that amount of like just
Mhm.
little bits at a time.
Rips.
I will say that there's a standing stone, what looks like part of a standing stone or a temple of some sort to the sugar plum fairy within this. Also, is it public what happened with the sugar plum fairy in the ice cream temple and like what that whole deal was? Do we know of the sins of the sugar plum fairy?
That's
I
a
feel like
good question.
Candians would, because
Yeah,
Sacramento was
Candian.
there.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
right.
like
The outside world would not be
a
privy to
Bulbian
it.
would either just not believe that it was real or not give a shit.
I mean, I feel like the Bulbian would believe that, oh, I've heard the sugar plum fairy did something bad. That makes a lot of sense. She was evil anyway, sort of.
Yeah,
We
Candians
were
would
right the
have
whole
this
We
knowledge.
were right the whole time.
It would be
Bulbians
locked
don't
to the
acknowledge
Candians.
the other, yeah. So, like, our kingdom would have heard rumors of, like, these pagans that worship what is essentially the devil, or, you know, like a
This
weird
creepy
god.
fey entity that took people
Old
into the other
pagan
world.
entity.
Yeah.
Ah, the devil tried to steal your soul.
Hmm.
How completely out of character.
Yes. I will say that Jacoby has spent a significant amount of time in Candia doing well, kind of not necessarily missionary work, but like a lot of diplomatic things on behalf of the church and kind of trying to rebuild a lot of that relationship with Candia. We're
Mhm.
goddamn trying their
Tangerine,
best.
by the way, is
Doing their
absolutely
best.
not having it.
That's reasonable.
No.
Entirely reasonable.
And I'm
All
just
the
getting
way
more
up to you as a
stressed
person,
by
your
the minute.
character, not about it.
Yeah,
That is
you're
fair.
ready to move, and you're ready.
New pack of candy cigarettes. Just
It's like
I'm so delighted watching this ooze. Like I'm feeding and coaxing it through.
through the
this
thing.
is a very strange creature, but it seems to support the work of the bulb. I feel like kinship.
I'm having a
It's a disaster if I just annihilate it.
no.
does it go through the thing?
It would be
goes through the thing.
it would be bad to eliminate an innocent creature.
Yes,
For nothing but-
definitely would. Yes.
So is
The
it
bulb
spread
teaches
out
us that
enough
all
to-
life is
So it was
sacred.
successful. What are all of
Except for the
items that we
rites of
extract?
heritage.
Free items that you had noticed. There's also a piece of There's a boot of fruit leather. Very quickly, not quickly at all. It slowly moves itself through the net. The objects fall out. It then, you have to be very quick about it as it doubles back to go and pick up the objects. It does not get the objects, but based on its intelligence of like 1.5, it then takes your net. It takes the net and starts eating the net and bites.
Son of a bitch.
It tries to eat your
Strength.
net.
I want to see the strength contest.
Quilliam, help me!
Please roll a strength against this.
Oh, here we go.
Trying to
Modifier -1. Let's see if this does.
I imagine neither of them are very strong. I just think it would be really funny to see
4.
It takes your net.
It is not worth the Kavanaugh.
Ah,
Do
but
not
that
lose
thing is mine.
Careful your fingers.
As it starts to go up the python and grabs onto your hand, you're like,
I think Jacoby's gonna like try to physically like shove them with their
Yes,
also
I-
strength of 8.
We got.
Kavanaugh, good dive. It's not worth it.
that
We
being
can make
said,
new
remember
nets.
you.
It's okay.
it goes its way away. You guys collect the items, and with that, you are on your way. It's very quickly apparent to you that the pauldron and the boot were from. If you don't identify it, then your friends will identify.
I would love to.
I'd like to identify it.
I would also like to.
It's very clear that from the symbol on the outside toe box of the boot, that this was on a banana soldier's foot, and the pauldron was another one of the Banan-knights.
Is there a piece of banana still in the boot?
Yes.
Oh
A mostly
Ooh.
digested bit of banana lives in the boot.
no! What does the thing smell like now that we have stuff covered in it?
Like chocolate ice cream.
Mm.
Melted chocolate ice cream.
Melted chocolate ice
I
cream.
love it.
With a swirl of chocolate in it.
Oh. Nice.
Mm.
Nice.
Fish.
Melted.
Oh, hell yeah!
I was
some chocolate
imagining more
sauce.
like a chocolate ganache.
Like the
sort
kind
thing.
of like.
I mean, it's
blob of
melted ice cream is basically
comes from,
chocolate.
Like a
No, that's not
chocolate glacier.
My suspicion is that it is not a fully formed life form. I mean, it's
A primitive.
yes,
Yes.
it's a primordial thing.
Like a prokaryotic sort of thing.
I'm going to nod like I know what that word means.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a scientist.
Right.
Oh yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
I assume basically that it is only one cell. As soon as you cut off a bit of it, it is a dead thing. Meaning that the only host is the actual life. How much can I cut before it dies?
Well, perhaps we should go to
If
the
they're not
people in
saving your
danger.
sibling,
Yeah,
then we
I-
can go back to
I
torturing
agree.
the creature.
You arrive at the rendezvous point. You see the smoke from the hill, from the valley beneath it,
This is gonna start sprinting as soon as they see smoke.
and at the rendezvous point, you are very quickly greeted by a number of Tartguard that remain alive here.
Oh, lovely.
They come out to y'all, and seeing that there are other Tartguard there, they run full speed towards you guys.
Oh. So just a
and-
giant Tartguard reunion.
And as they arrive at you, you hear the solid smack of Tartguards hugging one another immediately.
Aww.
I miss you so much.
If the top guard survives, surely your father is fine.
I hope so. Jacoby's gonna like kind of look around a little, like significantly. They're usually like calm as molasses, just very they're kind of like looking around a little anxiously.
You don't see your brother.
I think they're gonna turn to one of the Tartguards, sort of like just like reach out a hand. And is like, where is Kier here? Is Kier here?
Oh yes, he's here. He's sleeping.
Oh,
Oh no. is
Okay.
sleeping.
forever.
Does he say that? Where can I find him?
Oh, he's in the main tent.
All right, and Jacob's gonna go in that direction and see if anyone else is awake.
Just gonna kind of wander off behind you.
Fair
Because at
enough.
this point, I'm very.
Reasonable.
Keep an eye on the Banan-knights.
Very fair.
I'm not suspicious. You're suspicious.
Why you keep looking at me?
Why do you keep watching me watch you?
Touche.
Who's
Staring contest for 5 minutes.
Who's in charge of the camp? Is it just Tartguard here?
It is at this point just a smattering of Tartguard.
Oh, wow.
And
Is
you
it
go
daytime?
into the tent. It is just before evening, so it's not yet sunset. It took you the day to get here. You spent some time fucking around with melted chocolate and ice cream.
I love it.
The
I'm
chocolate.
in
Sipped the chocolate from
Hey, a nice new pair of boots that are partially digested.
There's no gummy bears here.
There are no gummy bears.
You go into what is the main tent, which is sort of a haphazard tarp thrown over multiple sticks to create sort of an incredibly not good circus
Like
tent
it doesn't look like it
ring.
was properly set up at all.
Just
like
sort of
like
tossed over.
Tart guards helped set it up.
Like almost exclusively Tartguard set this up.
I'm gonna go ahead and give them directions on how to do it better.
It's
A better
It will
circus
take a
tent.
little bit of time as they're
frolicking.
they are chumming it up.
They're
They
having
are
a reunion.
talking so fast to the other Tartguard that you have to yell over them as they're like talking about everything at
No,
the
I
same time.
gently go up to them and be like, hey, you guys can stick together and have your little reunion. But also, be doing this.
Incredible. Make a wisdom check. Now, this is very hard to
Wisdom to
tangentialize.
impart your wisdom. Oh no. That's a single digit dice.
It's just on your regular stat. It should be in big numbers. Or the big numbers.
6?
6.
Would it be persuasion?
They are persuaded immediately by you being like, come this way, just do this with me. Wisdom is like, how do you stake this down in the dirt here that it would be good and not just a tarp thrown over sticks? And it's clear that they don't have a lot of the right supplies to do much of anything.
They have no stakes.
You can you make it makeshift better,
Mm.
but you're working with like a literal Home Depot tarp and some sticks. So like it's unclear how you would make this look real good.
Question: are these sticks or are these like branches or are they like actual tent poles?
You, upon further inspection,
They're-
these are the spears of the Tartguard.
Oh,
They have
no.
used them as,
Oh.
as they stab them into the ground.
No. Did they have a tent?
They do. They just
These
don't
are the
know.
bedrolls of the tech.
Just rolled that way.
They're now wielding stakes as spears. They use the spears as stakes.
I mean, they stick into the ground better.
They do stay to the ground so much gooder.
So much gooder.
So much good.
It's not dark in the tent because it's hard
Kinda
to have
patchy.
darkness with patches of it being wide open. In here, not sort of asleep, is a gargantuan by y'all standards, probably about 7 feet tall,
Oh.
lying down, entirely honeycomb person that you recognize as your brother.
As soon as they see Kyo, they just sort of like let out a sigh of relief, and just
It's clear that they're breathing.
I want to say they let out a sigh of relief, kind of lean back against the tent thing, and it all just falls down.
One of yours many little honeybees arrives at your shoulder and
Oh.
lands upon you, and then promptly takes a little bee seat and
Oh.
sits down on you.
Oh, Buzzy, I missed you so much. Just give it some little scritches.
It buzzes you. With
Give it a
it
little kiss on
falling
the
down,
forehead.
Cure wakes up. And seeing you in his big dumbness, pushes aside all of these tents and poles and comes to hug you.
Oh.
Between you is one of the many bedrolls that was made, so it sticks to both of you.
Oh my god, I imagine it just like lifted up in the air and like swung around
Just
comedically.
wrapped around everything.
Yeah. Oh goodness, I'm so happy to see you are safe. Oh,
Yeah,
my
I
ribs.
don't think I was in any danger at any point.
I got your message about the. What are the Knights of Gumbar? Were they supposed to be here with you?
Yeah, Sir Sheridan was here.
Where's Sir Sheridan now?
Well, he went off on a diplomatic mission.
Alone?
Yeah, he said that we're really loud and big, and he's right. So he said to take a couple of days here, and if
Oh, all right.
so I wrote you a letter. He told me to write a letter before he left.
Okay.
And so
Did the Butterscotch Falcon, which I assume is from this one, get back? Like, is the Butterscotch Falcon around?
yes, the Butterscotch Falcon is standing on one of the overturned spears
Nice.
with your letter attached to it.
Lovely, lovely.
I noticed your quirk.
Yes.
Turkey.
That's it.
Okay. How long has it been since Sir Sheridan has gone on this diplomatic mission?
Oh yeah, yesterday, for sure.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah, we wrote the letter and sent it to you, and then he was like, "They'll be here soon. Don't worry about me. I'm going on a diplomatic mission to
Did he-
save the other gummy bears."
Oh, where did he? Do you know what direction he had headed off in? Like, what? Is it with the locals? What? Who is he?
He went to Buzzybrook, didn't he? But
He
Buzzybrook.
could have gone towards Buzzybrook, actually.
I
could've.
knew it.
Buzzybrook. That's very strange and very specific. Are you sure it was Buzzybrook?
No,
Oh,
I'm not sure.
But it could. But it could
It
have
could have
been.
been, though.
Buzzybrook.
There's a
That would
chance.
make sense.
just looks at Togs and
What did you?
then squints. What?
It's so good to see you.
It's so good. I'm so very glad that you were alive. We've been have you had any run-ins with the local chips?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had a real, scuff up with them recently.
Oh.
like 2 days ago. They took our palisade.
The
Yeah.
palisade?
The fort.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
we found that they did seem to be rather upset about.
Oh, you run. Okay. I'm glad that you're not hurt.
Yes, only a
They're
javelin.
real mean.
They are. Well, they seem to be rather paranoid. Although I can't say that they're any more they're any more aggressive than the Banan-knights that we ran into. This
There
is
was
very
more
odd.
than a paranoid of them. There was like 4.
Oh,
It's a larger
Yes, of
Tartguard.
course, they
It's
were-
just
how
a
many were
Tartguard,
they?
Larger.
Well, a pair would be 2.
yes, it would be.
We had,
Very
it was
good, Q.
Yeah, there's like a half dozen at least.
That's you. Oh, half dozen. That's quite.
That's a phrase you told me, half dozen. I don't know what that
Yes,
means.
you did. It
I know
means
it's more than
6.
2. I know it's more than 2.
It's 3 pairs.
3 pairs.
Three.
Are they from
three sets of-
Fructera?
I don't believe so. They seem to be Candian. It's just gonna pats Kira on the head and say, "Can you put me down now?"
Oh yeah, have you met Banger?
Who?
Banger.
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 Who's Banger?
He points at a yellow Tartguard. Banger, come meet my sibling.
Banger. Hello, Banger. The Banger Zone.
Just a slow motion, like.
so often.
God, yes.
Trips. Still in slow motion.
Bounces.
With chocolates.
It's amazing. Tartguard has sunglasses on.
Yeah, Angel, this is my sibling. They're real good at numbers.
Banger, pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
Delightful. So,
It just smiles at you and stares. It has nothing to say.
Danger, what a nice guy.
lovely to meet you. Anyway, is it just you? Were there more of you when on this original mission? Or was it just Sir Sheridan and all of the Tartguards?
Are you talking to me?
Yes. Well, both of you, really, looking at Kier.
Yeah, it was another gummy bear and another Tartguard, but that one didn't make it.
Oh, the
Yeah.
gummy bear or the Tartguard?
What happened to them?
The
Oh, the
Tartguard
Tartguard.
was dead in the fort.
Right.
Oh, right.
I remember now.
Yeah, our green friend.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It was rather messy. The other gummy
It's all right. I think that there's mommy, daddy tarts make more. So
I suppose that is how it works. Yes.
so you could make more Tartguard.
Well, perhaps now is not the time for such things.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Tartguard. I'm not gonna make any
I'm glad to hear.
myself.
I mean, you could if you wanted to.
Really?
I
Okay.
don't think.
I
Never.
don't know, really, truly, and honestly.
I haven't met any mommy tarts
That
recently.
is not a question that I need to
I feel like
wonder
we're getting
about.
really off track.
That would be very off track, yes.
Okay.
So the other gummy bear,
Yeah.
where's that one? Is he still alive?
I think he was taken. I don't think. I know. The chocolate chips took him.
Oh.
So Sheridan, I think that might be the diplomatic mission. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Oh,
was
well,
to get
that
the other
might
one
make
back.
He
he did take a meat. But I don't know if that's a fair trade.
Oh, well,
We brought a meat.
they do seem
You have
to
a meat
be-
too.
No,
Perhaps we
we
could try.
brought it from.
They can.
Perhaps you
They
should
do
track
seem
him.
to deal
Perhaps
and
we should
trade
track
fairly well, at least.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
If they are having
What
not
perhaps
interrupt family reunion.
Birds
Yes.
like you would give
Yes.
us a better
Yes.
idea of which direction.
What direction did Sir Sheridan head off in?
Oh, for sure. He went towards the sun when it was the morning. So
This is my job now. I hold up cat.
he knows you are wounded.
That is where the black cat's go. It's right there.
Black cats, you can tell.
So he went Sweetwood.
Sweetwood. All right. Sir Gaudivian, could you send Sir Quilliam off into that direction points towards?
Of course.
I'm going to.
I don't want to be weird. Me, you told me that I should introduce myself to everyone.
Yes.
Cure. Can I? Do you tell me your friends' names? Do I tell you they're my name? I don't usually. I'm used to hanging out with the Tartguard. Really.
I think.
And they introduce themselves automatically.
Yes. Jacoby sort of just like not quite knowing the proper thing for this. It's like this is Gaudivian. This is Kavanaugh Gaudivian, my friend from the monastery.
From the monastery.
And just going to point. He's like, this is Kit Kat. This is our residential archaeologist, and
Kit Kat, our residential archaeologist.
this is Lady Tangeline Marmalade.
He's Lady Tangeline.
Has a turn.
Okay.
Of House Citron.
The person grabs your hand.
You say it gently and then you put it back.
Okay.
Making it weird.
Okay. He gives it a kiss and then gently pulls it back to your side and then puts it down and pats it there.
Without
I think it's the
good,
backwards.
good, opening. Okay.
Thank you, Sir Kavanaugh Gadivia, our friend of House Citron.
I mean, I guess.
Was that the name?
We do a lot of it.
These names are really, really long.
They're not terribly long here. I suppose they have titles, but Gaudivian, Kit Kat, would you prefer Milady, Tangeline, or Marmalade?
You can go be Tangy for sure.
Tangi. This is Tangi.
I thank you.
Yeah.
I like both of the roads.
And this is Tox, health inspector from Secrotia out on this wilderness expedition for some reason. But that's
That seems a little
safety
weird and
inspector.
suspicious.
I'm so sorry, safety inspector.
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
It is not very safe out here, as you can tell. I'm sure you will have some
It's
words
not.
to Secrotia about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, perhaps we should send a reports rather back to our queen, since we have the butterscotch falcon at our disposal.
It was suggested, ladies.
Yeah.
And
Like
while
my
we are
notes.
making wise inquiries, what color was the kidnapped gummy bear, and what were the conditions under which he was taken?
Well, orange.
Not red. Okay.
Not red.
No, that's probably Sir
How-
Charity.
Oh, definitely.
How long ago did we find that club?
We found that 2 days ago.
2 days ago. You said that he left this morning, which means he's still alive. I was right. Sir Sheridan is still alive.
But injured.
Yes, clearly.
Or has
Yes.
strange habits.
I don't want to think about that.
I usually want to know all of the information. I don't want to know this.
Very straight. We're moving on. All right. So at least we know Sir Sheridan's still
So you
alive.
want to send a letter?
Yes, I have taken the liberty of writing a short report to Her Majesty. If anyone would like to contribute to
By all
as
means,
well.
share.
Factual related
Yes.
information. I have so much to share, yes.
Could you read us what you have so far?
Blink.
If that might be requested.
rather,
To
I'm
see what
asking for
information is covered?
contributions.
Yes,
I
of
see.
course.
It's all completely subjective.
Okay. Understandable.
I would not want to taint my
Of course.
yours with my biases.
Absolutely.
I would be happy to add to the report.
I actually have been instructed.
Great, so
My
nobody
own
wants
piece.
to read what she wrote.
These
Based,
little boys.
I would. That is what I just asked for. But of course, I respect a lady's
In the
privacy.
interest of science, of course.
Yes.
you have obligations to communicate directly to your our Majesty. I have obligations to take a longer form report to then do a presentation on after the explorations to the entire guild of the explorers.
I see.
So I will be working on mine and highly respect this method of communication, but mine must take time.
Yes, of course.
My authorities lie exclusively with House Candian of the Candian Empire, so as such.
So
Yes, I've already sealed mine with wax and like
Yeah.
my
Oh,
sigil and
okay.
everything.
I eyeballed it with like deeply concealed disappointment that is under a seal.
I'm just over here like, surely, believe it.
Yes,
Okay.
addendum.
yes, I think that. Question before I add an addendum is: do I know that standing stone is the chunk that we found within the dollop a part of a standing stone?
Would you like detect magic?
I mean, I didn't roll nat 20 on an Arcana check.
You did roll in at 20 on the condition.
Or is it like
This-
part of a different kind of structure or like something?
It is fairly clear to you. You've not seen it, but with a nat 20, this is the temple of the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Oh.
Largely was collapsed
Oh.
when they perished.
Shit.
So the dollop is in some way linked to the fall of the Sugar Plum Fairy.
I think there's just like flash images going before their eyes as they remember the events they've been told of.
If I may, if I recall correctly, the temple of the Sugar Plum Fairy
Yes.
was located in the mountains
near-
of North Candia.
The Rock Candy Mountains, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry,
I've
okay.
heard-
Candy Mountains.
I've done a small bit of studying on this incident, as it did seem rather significant as a point in religious history.
Candy Mountain, Pansy. Have you ever been there?
Candy Mountain.
I think,
Candy Mountain time.
honestly, I think that Jacoby would have held on to the piece of the rock and just hand it to Tangerine and say, I don't know much about this, but if you'd like to inspect it, if you can glean any more information, you're welcome to.
Thank you. I take it.
Nice.
Nice.
My report
do
is
nothing. Okay.
My report is a persuasive essay amplifying my contributions massively.
Massively. So okay. And then I saved it. Oh, yeah.
Everyone else was floundering about with the knowledge before. I sieved it entirely my idea. I brought the glass of vials of
My foresight.
They were just about to perish. And there I came.
Absolutely 100% fair.
I think, yeah, Jacoby's going to write about, on that note, Jacoby's going to write about how they found the dollop they found the stone in the dollop and how a lot of this might be the remnants of what the theoretically, it could be the remnants of what the Sugar Plum Fairy has been taking and hiding away from Candia for so many years. Potentially. In terms of religious contributions to church and all that.
Mm-hmm. That.
And also about, hey, there are also some people here that seem extraordinarily cautious. There have been many incidents and, yeah, anyways.
Of violence, yes.
Many incidents of violence, but they do seem open to negotiation under the right circumstances.
Where did the chocolated ship men begin to attack you? And when was the first point?
You guys in Cure, correct?
Yes.
Well, Jacoby, can I tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay.
You should tell the truth.
I know I should always tell the truth, but this is embarrassing.
Oh?
I was playing with some Tartguards and one of them got shot, and so I was kind of not really paying attention to when it happened or why it happened, but I know that one of them got shot, so I took him to safety. And by then we were in the middle of combat, so I think I hurt one of them. Can't feel bad about that one.
Did you run into any of these Banan-knights or similar Fructera forces before that attack?
I didn't run into any Banan-knights up here, but I did run into some Guardians.
Oh.
And they seemed like they were doing some business up here, but it seemed real strange to see Vegetarians on this mountain. They told me that they had something very specific that they needed to do. And
You spoke with Sam.
yeah.
Were the Vegetarians here on behalf of Vegetania, or were they here because of the Emperor?
They said that they were with the Imperial Army.
All right.
Yeah.
What were they here to do?
Explore the new land under Emperor Amathar Rox's jurisdiction.
Reasonable.
They let me know that it was probably best if we didn't team up because, we're a big group and there was a small group of them, so that we could explore more. That sounded right to me.
All right. Reasonable. Split up, cover more ground. They did not How many days ago did you run into the Vegetarians?
Oh, it's probably been about a week.
When was the first time you were attacked by the chip men? Chips? Do we have a name for these yet?
Chocolate kiss.
The kisses?
I've just been calling them the
Chocolate
kisses.
too.
The
Kiss
kisses.
Kiss man.
The kisses.
Kiss man.
The kiss men. Kiss men. Kiss men. Like Kiss the band.
Yeah.
They're always like,
At the end of the session, we will show art.
I am drawing the whole time.
Yes,
So
we've got
I'm
time.
still here for this.
Probably like less 5 days. 5 days ago. It's hard to track time up here if we're going to be so very honest. It's probably been like 4 or 5 days. I can't tell you 4 or 5.
Okay. How many sunsets?
About 4 or 5.
All right. That is always the bulb above is a good way to tell the time, as they say.
So you ran into the other forces before the violence began.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
I hope they're okay.
Well,
We'll find out.
I hope they are too.
That's a good thing to hope.
Yes.
There's a lot of talking today.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have much.
Just feels very serious.
It is rather serious, yes.
Okay.
Um,
Please don't make any decision.
Definitely not.
We definitely have things to do, but you know.
If you would like, we can make all the decisions you need.
Good. Yeah. Jacoby's always good at making good decisions.
Thank you, Kyo.
Yeah.
I try my absolute hardest.
Me too.
And then,
Alright. I guess we spend the night there?
You sure can.
Well, we can set up actual whole ass tents and maybe get the spears out of the ground.
the spear's not even driven point down. What did?
It's how to attach it to the blanket.
spend doing that?
Also, Kyo, may I ask, what is this pointing to?
The remains it. Ah, yeah. That one I planted in the ground because they couldn't. They needed my strength.
Yes.
We did break one of them in the process.
But that is your spear, that is for fighting.
Oh, it's not mine. Well, I mean,
That is a spear. That's for...
yeah. No, it's more like that one goes from my stays on my back now and like does good scouting stuff.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
What?
I want to make him feel included.
Okay. The Tartguard or the
Yeah,
spear?
Tartguard. No, what? Why would a spear?
I don't
It's
know.
not sentient,
I
right? Right.
No. The majority of weapons are not sentient as far as we are aware.
This
Okay.
is a series of deeply perplexing questions. But
The line between food and humans are well.
All right, we'll stay here till Sir Sheridan gets back.
And I would like to teach you how to pitch a tent properly. Did you not bring tents? Or were you just
No, we
expecting-
had them, but we didn't pack up when we were fighting at the fort.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Did we bring the extra tents from the fort? And the extra supplies and shit?
we
What is
brought
that?
the weapons. I didn't think to bring like bedrolls. I kind of assumed they had bedrolls.
You know, that would be a fair assumption.
I always bring my own.
I also brought one for me, the person I am.
I imagine we probably brought enough for everybody in the party. And the people we had with us, assuming that people... Well, we have secured the fort for now, at least. So, theoretically, we can go back there after we get back with Sir Sheridan.
And then while William scouts, who has excellent night vision, I suppose we camp. Is anyone injured?
I mean, it kind of
Yeah.
sounds like what's his face has got it handled. So we have places to be.
We must wait for Sir Sheridan. I'd hate to leave a man behind.
What is the emphasis by which you wish to return to Shimazi alone?
Immediately.
Right, but what leads you to suspect this is a more critical scenario than a kidnapping with maybe murder?
Somebody's already handling the kidnapping, and
The victim of the maybe murder.
we don't know that there are
That was
other
before
victims of maybe more murders. My boss is not terribly specific.
True.
Alright.
It's a little suspiciously not specific. Suspiciously not specific.
Hey, I just work here. I just.
I would expect
I would
some
also
closure.
hate to go back to. No offense. I would rather not face the ire of the Queen should we come back not having fulfilled our mission that she asked us to.
All right, then let's go find this guy. Because who knows, we could be here for weeks if we're waiting for him to come back. Because then we're still just leaving him to do all of the
We
work
wait. I
anyway.
think it would be wise to wait maybe a day and see if he comes back on his own.
We did not take injury during our dull interaction to pursue this gentleman overnight. I have seen nothing of the Kissmen that lets me think they are better night fighters than highly trained stealth associates.
What I fear that they lack in skill, they make up for in number. We don't know that they're not.
No,
Last
this
we
is
heard,
just
there were
wrong.
half dozen.
I don't think they've mastered
We have
No,
a bunch of
they
banana
haven't-
guards.
They
And
haven't mastered fire. Because they were confused by the Right, so that would mean that at night
what?
they would not have flames.
No,
This would be a
they
tremendous
there
benefit
was
on us.
we saw a hastily stamped. Well, no, that could have been
We
for
saw-
banana.
That was from ours.
Yes,
you're right.
We saw like a campfire with tools. I suspect a night investigation may actually prove deeply advantageous from our perspective.
All right. As long as we can stumble our way through the dark, I believe I can light the way. And they produce a flame in the palm of their hand, kind of like golden, glowing ball of very hot light.
Which they cannot do.
Well, as far as we are aware, I am hesitant in assuming anything about these people. So we did assume that they were hostile no matter what, but we had an interaction in which that was not true.
At this point, I'm just like sitting there, just like dejected and just like.
Never gonna make it back.
I'm very
boss.
sorry, Pops, but human life takes precedence.
I'm sorry, our Secrotians not
Of course they are.
humans.
We are speaking
I'm
the law.
not sure safety regulations are about preserving life.
This is what
They were attacked. It said so in the letter.
By pursuing them at night, we go faster.
All right,
Yes,
let's go.
Yes, you're not wrong. I suppose we could sleep on the road then. And it's like, all right, I suppose we get a party together of those who are. Are we doing another stealth run?
If we are getting them there and back, that's a good recommendation. A fairly stealthy party.
But if we are using light, it would be rather hard to be stealthy.
No, I recommend we do not.
And I don't suppose any of you can have potions that would allow you to see in the dark.
That's an owl.
Reasonable, I suppose.
We could use light and send Quilliam ahead, and if Quilliam finds something, then we turn out our lights.
I do.
Canceled dark vision, right?
No, dark vision. I do have it.
The only
I
one
can't
who
see the
has
dark-
dark vision would be Kit Kat.
Fair enough.
We tend to be nocturnal as a dark chocolate varieties.
Reasonable. All right. Okay.
Then we
Suppose
have
we head out.
two
No,
entities.
I'm like, I'm perked up. I'm like, wait, we're done. What? We're going?
We're going.
And with that, is it just the members of Sugar Crash? Just the
I think
five?
so.
Yeah.
Five?
Because if we
The
take
Knights of
huge
North
bands-
Cumbia, Limey, and Sir Razzleberry are a bit squishy without armor on, and a bit loud with armor on,
Yeah.
as they wear full plate and have a shield and a mace. And fairly, you could take one of the bananas. There is a banana wizard
Banana wizard, banana wizard, banana wizard.
that you could take with you.
I think
Is
that would
he
be
stealthy? I kind of want to see what he can do for definitely
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
reasons
yeah.
of deep, deep suspicion.
Yes.
Yes.
The banana wizard, you only have 1, 2, 3. I think it's only 4 bananas in total. You have Sir Clovis, the knight. You have 2 banana guards.
Does the banana wizard have a name?
He does.
What is that name?
Splits.
Splits. Wait. We should take the tiny banana. The tiny banana is definitely stealthy.
Yeah, you actually technically do have 5 in total.
We just
You've got
mount the
the
tiny
archer.
Exactly.
You've got Sir Clovis.
Archer
You've
banana is going to be
got-
very useful in a stealth scenario.
Tox, I feel you're the tallest member of the party. I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like you are.
This is Banger.
I tried
Mount
you
a banana.
I tried you with a fedora and a
Danger
trench
is my
coat,
middle
like a
name.
classic AI.
Oh,
That is how I'm drawing it.
oh, okay.
Almost done. Q.
It is him. He's
You're
just
one.
friend shaped. He's shaped like a
Banan
friend.
Soldier.
I'm going to take an extra large pack of rations
Here's
in case
Splits.
this gets into bribery.
Ah, yes.
He's perfect. I don't know why I love him so much. He's just a little fella.
Kit Kat. Tangently.
They're all colored now. It looks
Except
so
for your
good. That's okay. The hat was lost to oblivion, I believe.
Tox.
I love it.
Kit Kats remain.
You like?
behind.
That's fantastic.
Are the chocolate chips classified as humanoid?
Candian, yes, you would.
Oh, this looks like a battle map.
It is not. This is just me denoting
Placement of things.
Okay.
how many.
How
Who's-
denotable of you.
people exist.
Oh, where's the tiny banana?
Where is
Import-
Tiny Banana?
The
I think Tiny
important-
Banana got put in another.
Taken out at some point because I remember seeing
There it is.
tiny
Into
banana.
yeah.
Tiny, teeny
Tiny banana. Chiquito banana.
Candia.
Oh,
Why would
Just
little
kidding.
homie go for Candian?
for,
He's
for
Fructera.
the Concord.
I mean, we're gonna brainwash him.
For the Concord.
He's gonna start thinking he's actually just a candy
A
shaped like a
very
banana. Those exist.
Maybe.
Banana candies.
Hmm.
That's why he's small.
Banandies, if you will.
That being said, y'all would like to try and take the tiny one in splits.
I think that would be. I think that would be entertaining. Actually, this would be pretty good if this is a long-range archer. This could also be very.
Oh,
good
you
for
put a
stuff.
little thing on him. He can stand now. He's no longer
Yes. It falls
crawling.
over.
I think we should not take the archer.
Fair enough. I trust.
Keep the party small and
The
I
wizard.
trust. 10 G's.
No meep.
Meep loud.
5 of y'all. And not the archer.
Going to tell.
Are we taking the baby banana?
Yeah, we
Are you?
Yes.
Why is it- why?
We'll take the
I
baby
think-
Why
He's
would
a
we take-
mascot.
He's very stealthy. Look at that. You can barely see him behind any of these people. Like, look at that shit.
Like a
I
chap.
suppose we could just
Just
send
put
a
him
baby
in.
banana into the midst of them and be like,
distraction and then run away.
Right.
Just,
surely
just
they wouldn't attack a
throw
baby.
the baby banana into the mix.
You will not regret.
Surely you remember a tiny banana.
All right.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Tiny banana.
I got that about roll stealth feeling.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
I would like just before we go, I'd like to instruct Sir Razzleberry and Sir Limey to help the Tartguard and Kior to set up an actual whole ass maybe 10.
Your D20 was nicer to me. Let's see if it still is. Damn it.
I'm also going to
It's a 9.
audibly
Oh, it is a
give
9.
Banan-knights direct orders to protect the party and like watch guard as we leave.
12.
Make a persuasion check.
That's an 18.
Desperate times, desperate measures. They take the orders.
I'm
Y'all
going
royalty.
to very subtly ask Sir Razzleberry to keep an eye on them.
Always was in the plan.
This is literally what I was about to do. That's actually okay. With you.
Do you also approach Sir Razzleberry and you're like, keep an eye on Sir Clovis and the banana?
Yeah, like the right after she leaves.
Like everybody's like, keep an eye on.
Just finishes my sentence
Keep an eye
entirely.
on Sir
Wow.
Clovis the banana.
Yeah,
Keep an eye on the
yes.
Sir Clovis and the banana. Keep an eye on Kior and the Tartguard. Dear gods, I'm worried about them.
Feels more like a lively job.
Reasonable.
Oh, but yes, I'm definitely watching it.
Can I take? I'm gonna name the small bee Fuzzy Buzz.
The small who?
Bee.
Small beat? Yes. Okay. Yes. You could take Fuzzy Buzz, your brother. One of your brothers, half dozen. Half dozen. That's how many bees he has.
That's
Half dozen bees.
Kior is secretly a swarm.
Yes, he is a living swarm. He has 6 bees that live
That's so
inside his
perfect.
honeycomb.
That's wonderful.
He's a walking house.
Amazing.
I love
Sentence
this
two
stuff.
for me.
It reminds me of the new Pinocchio.
Oh no.
Have you guys seen
So
the new
good.
Pinocchio
You
where
have
where
the light
Jiminy
bulb.
Cricket lives in first batch?
I have a ball of fire and a bee on my
Yes,
shoulder.
that's good.
Alright.
Okay. Stealth.
I don't know.
22,
Group
17.
stealth
No.
or
It is group stealth. Was it on that one?
it was a 3.
Okay.
I'm
It's how many pass out of the number.
I got
12.
5.
It's 2 failures.
How did I get higher
So
than y'all?
22, 17.
22, 17, 2
The
successes.
dice didn't treat me nice.
And
You,
it's 12.
you stole my luck. I'm kidding. Teeny tiny little bits.
It is at night. They don't use fire. It is a disadvantage. The number to beat is 5. So we have all but one passing.
Well, it was a 5 with my +2, but I rolled a 3.
Everyone barely. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. With your +2. Oh, you rolled a 3. It
I
came a
rolled a
5.
3 and it came
Yes.
Same boat.
Precious and incredible. It is clear. Oh. That 19 again. You approach the direction, you head in the direction, you travel for the time. It is the middle of the night. You arrive close enough that you can approach what looks to be where they are more permanently camped, a much larger sort of small civilizations
It's a
here.
camp, like a village.
This is like a
This is a
village,
whole village.
as opposed to just the
So wait, if they are nomadic, then it wouldn't really be a settlement. Would it just be kind of like, oh yeah, they're staying here for a bit longer?
For like a
Right,
month.
do these seem
as
like
opposed
permanent
to a week.
structures, or are they?
These seem like permanent structures. Seem like the group you ran into before
Was
would be like proto scouts, like the first concept of what a scout is.
right.
They have a society.
It's a society.
They live in a society.
It's clear that skirting the edge of these cliff faces at the bottom of this cliff, they have built into the mountainside, taking chunks of it to create sort of these adobe structures of sort of the local
Chocolate
clay,
mud.
chocolate clay,
Dough.
built
Marzipan.
adobo. And so they are not out awake and looking for y'all. Who is leading the hunting party here? Kit Kat, rather. Go ahead and
yeah,
roll a
makes sense.
perception check.
Yes, for sure. What do my cat eyes see? I perceive a 17.
A 17. There is no one out on guard duty. If
Really?
there was such a
Wow.
concept as guard duty.
Fascinating.
There is a structure. There's clearly some sort of statue
Oh.
here.
Can I make out the shape?
Not in like the middle of the, because it's clearly there's like they've made buildings enough that you can't see the entire village. This statue is not in the middle of things. It is on the like outskirts. Like at the entry to the first.
Can I
proto road.
Do you think I can like kind of make out the shape in the moonlight?
It
Or in
looks
the bowl
like an
moonlight?
incredibly primitive humanoid shape. It looks like it was built of like chocolate pieces of chocolate rocks and like wrapped
Fruity pebbles.
candies.
Cocoa Pebbles.
There's like a Reese's cup that's like a part of it. Different wrapped pieces of candy as well as just unwrapped chocolate pebbles have made this sort of dejected looking statue
Oh.
that is fairly large.
How large we talking?
We're talking like 8-9 feet tall.
We'll call it like a
Is it-
sugar Rushmore.
Ah.
God.
Is it holding anything?
Straight to jail.
Is it like
You're not past
defiant
go.
pose, aggressive pose, holding a thing?
It looks to be like
Instead of a humanoid figure.
it is humanoid figure, but very poorly done, as mentioned. It's leaning in a way that it is like stationed. It was placed between two larger, not larger than it, but about person-sized boulders of candy, of chocolate rock.
Perhaps a guardian?
The implicit suggestion here is that they have seen humanoid candy form before. We have only been here for a few weeks at most. That looks like more than a few weeks of work to me.
It's possible they have existed for up to more than a year. Almost.
Perhaps. Or there is another here that they somehow interact with. If only they were better at this.
Okay, so how far away from the encampment are we currently stationed?
Probably 200 feet away.
200 feet. Yeah, that seems
Behind some other less frozen chocolate boulders in this valley of a cliff.
beautiful.
I humbly suggest that I send Quilliam as a standard owl scout, and we look for a Meep. There's a grand total of 8 Meeps in this continent, and we have 7 of them.
I think that's a wise strategy to start
I
from.
mean, in an absence of meat, you could just look for a giant red cherry knight.
And that's if he's exposed to the open air. I don't think it's safe for Quilliam to fly into every
I
house.
think it would be, actually. They seem to have a remarkable, almost,
Reverence for animals.
well, I would say apathy, but yes.
Yes, that will make them easier to trick. Good point.
Is the top of their little
I would say
tent
easier to
things
communicate
open?
with, but
Yes, that
because
It's
They
like
have
a
that-
clay. They have
Or
a
the-
clay buildings that
Okay.
they've built into like New Mexico sort of square
Adobe.
buildings that are made
I
of
want
clay.
this to be a dough.
Adobe.
You know,
like cookie dough.
Yeah, you know,
cookie
dough.
dough.
I love it. It's
Adobe,
so
Adobe.
good.
Adobe.
Oh.
You know, like chocolate cookie dough, where it's
Yeah.
the dough itself is chocolatey.
Yes.
We can canonize that.
Yes.
Quilliam scout check? No, not 24. That would be a 13. Because he gets advantage on perceptions. 13 for the first.
13 for the first pass. What is Quilliam's AC?
Oh. You said they had a reference for nature.
Well, I thought that would have.
Tiny owl.
Maybe they were hungry. I think it's something like 12 because owls have a
Yeah, it's not very high. I remember being 13. Going
13, 12 sounds
Oh, wait.
about right.
Quilliam has
That's
1
not-
HP, correct?
Oh, yeah, one hit. Any hit kills him. Just flat dead. AC 11.
All right, they rolled an 11.
Yeah. Shot from the darkness.
The last thing you see through Quilliam's, I believe Quilliam is out of range for direct visual. Kit Kat, you peering around your micro encampment of just y'all being behind this large other rocky structure as you peek out. Quilliam flies around and comes a little too close to the statue
Oh.
that proceeds to pick up a candy stone, a piece of chocolate rock off of the top of one of the other rocks next to it, and hurls it at Quilliam.
Like
Quilliam
is this
takes
a-
more than 1 point of damage and explodes.
Is this like a small piece or is this a boulder this thing is chucking? Into?
It grabs something probably about a foot across.
And we
Does
should have
this
set the
wake out-
bee.
Does this wake up?
Six.
Does this wake up anyone
Quilliam's
else?
7.
It is unclear if anyone is awake, but it was loud enough as the rock went clear through Quilliam,
Yeah.
There's not a lot of meat there.
and it hit one of the
Bones
walls
are
of the
hollow.
canyon side as it
Ooh.
clattered off of that. About a rock that's about a foot wide is
Yeah.
pretty
it's
sizable
gonna,
sound.
It's gonna make some noise there.
That's a level of hostility to night animals that fills me with a level of isn't that emotion? Rage? Near rage. Hostility. I too am hostility. Just reciprocal hostility.
Are there other animals around this area?
It
'Cause
not
they did
anymore if
have-
it kills ours.
'cause they did seem to kind of take the meat for their own. So I'm wondering if there are any other kinds of animals around the encampment. Hypothetically?
Hypothetically, make a perception check.
Yes.
Make a perception check. Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Oh no. 10.
It doesn't.
How far away is it?
Not so many. You haven't seen a lot. You've seen a couple of animals up here, very sparsely. There have not been any in this last hour or two.
Entirely reasonable.
Other question?
Well, you can
Because
summon
200
Quillian
feet
back,
away?
can't
Yes.
you? Right?
I can conjure a new owl. Quilliam the Sixth was one of a kind.
Oh no.
They're all unique owls. Not
This
the
is the
same owl.
sixth time.
Not the same owl.
How does that work from like a pet perspective? Do you have to build a report every time with the creature?
Oh, the magic district cares of that. It's great.
It's quite convenient.
It's a little bit terrible if you think
Oh,
about
sure.
it. I choose not.
What?
You had a question.
Fair
I
enough.
asked how far away it was, and
200.
Todd said 200
Yeah,
feet.
200 feet.
No, I
So-
can summon back the same owl.
Oh.
Find familiar
Yeah,
routes and
that's
summon the same
not bad.
I was gonna say, it's like, but usually you. Oh god!
It's different.
We should have sent the bee.
Do not tell Fuzzy Buzz these things. He is small. He is just a little
Small.
derpy guy.
And alive.
Yes.
Not summoned.
Yeah. This is a living creature.
For Kavanaugh, these creatures are sort of summoned from another place. To move on to the next iteration of owl when the previous one has perished enough times that it refuses to be resummoned. So the next slight variation of owl gets a new name.
The fact that
What
you
is
have
it,
not the
seven?
6 of them that have just gotten fed up with your shit.
How many times must we die?
I'm staying in the other world. Fuck this
Fuck this guy.
Fuck this
Have
guy.
you ever seen Wayne? Oh, if you've never seen Wayne, you should watch it. But there's this guy that, like, his neighbors keep killing all of his dogs. And so he does that. He names them all A names.
Oh god.
Very good show.
So I'll need some materials in an hour.
I'm sure there are things that we can potentially forage around here.
I'm just kind of cowered behind Jacoby at this point. Like,
Jehovah?
Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness!
no.
So very cursed. Have you learned about our Lord and Savior the Bull?
No!
No!
Praise unto the Lord. It's raise.
God.
You missed a good pun.
I bet I did. Don't worry, there'll be
So
more.
as I'm kind of like, we're all deciding what the next part of the plan is, I am still stuck on this statue. Can I utilize my background's feature of historical knowledge to see if I can think of any possible like deity or figure that they could possibly be doing reverence to? Can I do a history
You
check?
may do a history check.
21.
It's clearly so non-specific to a deity
Yeah.
that
A known deity?
it is clearly
Not a known.
not
Not a known.
a known deity. It seems very just like this is what a normal bipedal person looks like.
Just made of chocolate.
This is just like a bipedal. It's like you trying to make your first pottery.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to make to look a person.
This is a work of art and not necessarily a thing.
Alive or animated.
And
Arguably,
just-
it's a miracle that
Just
they
for
are
me
animated.
drawing things, I
Mhm.
do want to know the
So
So
pose.
is somebody
if
like
possible.
hiding in it to throw rocks?
I doubt it.
Can you just stand up? I want to know where your statue
Standing.
is.
Is the
Just
statue
like standing.
the statue made out of the
It's
same
really
mud?
like
One hand on a rock, one hand on another rock.
rock. Slightly
Is
taller
it made
rock.
out of the same mud stuff that we
The
witnessed
adobe?
before?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
The
So,
adobe.
No, the
It's made out of
syrupy.
actual- It's made out of actual like individual pieces
Okay.
of chocolate.
Candy.
so strange question. Have we seen any like local wildlife around here?
You have seen local wildlife. but not close to this site.
Reasonable. All right. Okay. Is
Hey.
Okay.
Also,
so
to be-
Quilliam,
yeah.
how long does it take to get Quilliam back? I'm sorry.
An hour.
An hour. Okay, so like, do we want to wait an hour? Like, could we do some sort of scouting or planning in the
if
next
we're,
hour
if
for
we're
this?
going to do this, I have an idea.
Because we can let you do that while others are
If you
strategizing.
could,
Toby has an idea.
So, if we go far enough away that they're animals again, I can try to talk to an animal and see what the fuck is up with that area.
Hey, me
See
too.
what they have observed.
Should we send the banana wizard to investigate?
I would like to not have any of our other allies bludgeoned. Ideally.
Yes,
They bruise
allies.
easily.
I would also like to not have our allies.
I ideally would not want to be bludgeoned to death, madam.
Don't worry, Splits. We got you.
My I don't know, call him a master anymore, but he was bludgeoned to death.
Oh,
well,
you had
buy
a,
one of those.
like.
We came out here together as part of the,
Oh,
he was one of the 6 or
who
7 who died.
who was responsible for that?
Yes, how did that
What was-
develop?
Was it by the kisses?
Possible? Yes. Yeah, no, it was a chocolate bar.
Reasonable. Oh.
Bar?
It was one of the short chocolate bars with clubs.
Oh.
Not a kiss, a bar.
It was, one of the bars that we saw.
All right.
Okay, so they have multiple forms.
Yeah, they got kisses and bars, and at least I know those two.
Other varieties? I
Sorry.
haven't seen it.
I'm sorry, I wasn't really thinking about the specific varieties as I watched my mentor be bludgeoned to death by a chocolate bar.
It is understandable.
Yeah, I guess.
That does seem.
But you noted that it was a bar.
He told me like two whole spells, so I feel like a piece of shit, but okay.
In that case, in your, as expert as we've got right now, magical opinion, is that thing a larger form of the chocolate entities, or is that a construct created by them? I want to know how mad I'm supposed to be.
It's for sure golem.
Alright, good.
All right.
It's for sure like a golem. No one's that big naturally unless you. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a golem.
Okay. So if it's a golem, which means,
They can make
according to
golems.
legends, they can be predicted. There's likely either something controlling it, or it's a very set. Theoretically, it has a very specific set of instructions.
I know the silence spell.
Ah, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Because they don't
Well,
speak anyway.
We'll let you know if. Oh, yes. So I would like to actually go.
Chill touch.
Cantrip
It might come up. It might come up.
I would like actually to take talks and wander a little further away and try to find some of the local wildlife, like offer some food in exchange and like cast speak with animals on something.
Sound of summoning in the back.
Exactly. Like while he's doing that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Would that be an animal handling check or a perception check to find one, or like
Perception check to find one.
can I have
You
advantage
could
on
have
this?
advantage.
Yeah.
Talk to something.
Ah, fuck yeah.
Nat 20, baby.
Wait, what? And I do have the flame, which would not cause disadvantage because it's dark outside. I should have thought about that before.
Yes,
Okay,
now you
cool.
have it. And
I
because
have. It's fine.
You do find a form of rodent that is larger than a rat and smaller than a raccoon. Some sort of like wombat-esque
Rodent of
rodent
unusual
of
size. I
this,
see.
and rodent of unusual
Yes,
size.
So like,
That is drawn to the light as you're scurrying around searching for it.
just gonna like settle down on the chocolate dirt floor, like put out some food for it, and ritual cast speak with animals. Can you just ritual cast any spell that has the ritual thing on it?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, by having the ritual tag.
Yes, it does. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna sit down, cast it, and I would like to ask this little creature, is it, do you know about the chocolate people over at Point's direction? Over that way.
Oh, fuck, you speak.
Yes, indeed. He's
This is a first for me. Hello.
hello. It is lovely to meet you. I am Jacoby Honeyglow.
Okay.
I don't suppose you have a name.
I'm not sure what the concept of a name is.
Reasonable, entirely reasonable. Do you know what the creatures over there that look like? And they're gonna start like frantically drawing in the dirt the shape of like the.
What are you doing in the ground? Oh, you.
Things that look like this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Those things
They
live
got
here.
pointy sticks, and
Yeah.
do they tend to kill any animals that come close to it? Are they dangerous to you?
Oh, they're real nice as long as you're not in their house. Well, sort of their den, really.
Oh. What is the area of their den quantified as?
I never thought about what the qualifications of a nest is. I
Reasonable
kind of live in a hole.
That's fair. That's entirely fair.
It's really nice talking to someone.
It is quite. I suppose it is a novelty to do so.
Yeah. You want to keep talking forever?
Well, for the next 10 minutes, I would love to.
I don't know what the
have
concept
fun.
of time is. that sounds like another forever.
Yes, for 10 forevers, we can talk.
Wow, I only have like one, I think. I also don't know how numbers work.
That's reasonable entirely. I don't expect you to have much use for that.
You look funny.
Yes, I am quite unusual even where I come from. Yes.
Nice.
I
I just want to keep talking forever.
So I suppose we can ask him how many then.
Do you know about how many of these people that you've seen over
He doesn't
there?
understand numbers.
Oh, there's like
A lot? A little?
many. There are many
Many?
of them.
Many? Are there?
There's a couple that look kind of silly
Oh,
that live there too.
how silly!
How silly?
Yes.
Well,
What
they've got
kind
a
of
red
silly?
one. They got a red friend,
Oh,
an orange friend,
oh,
and a yellow friend.
a yellow friend. Is the yellow friend shaped like draws a meep in the ground?
Fuck no.
Is it a banana?
Oh, is it? Is the yellow one sort of
It's
like?
the only words my mother taught me.
Is the yellow one shaped like a curved sort of creature?
No, it's sort of round.
Oh, a round
Yellow.
a round yellow one.
Sort of green.
Sort of green.
Sort of green.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a couple of different colors that come by there, but I mean, most of them are sort of brown.
Are they round and flat shaped? How many of the or you don't know numbers? Never mind.
I don't know numbers. You can teach me numbers. We have 10 together.
That's great. It's 8 now.
Why is there less of them?
You see, because time is fleeting, and unfortunately, we all come to an end.
Its lifespan has just. It
No.
has the tiniest heart attack. No, it's still alive. It's not canon.
Wait, you taught the woodland creatures existential dread. Praise the bulb.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why we have 8 left.
It is okay. All right.
I've never asked as many questions in my life.
I've never spoken to so many. I've never spoken to a creature as small as you before either. There was a
They're
very
kinda
small
big.
banana, but I suppose they were about the same size as the small banana.
A big rodent.
Yeah, there was like another one. Yeah.
Reasonable.
Uh-huh.
Talks. Do you have any more ideas for questions?
I think I'm fresh out. Peanut gallery.
Do you have any more?
Some-
Is there a
Someone- someone-
how do you
someone-
usually how
Gonna just get some more seeds and just, like.
Seeds.
have you ever
Yes.
gone and taken any of their food? Is there anywhere specifically
My brother did that.
they could sneak
I don't
in?
see my brother anymore.
Oh no!
So there's no advantageous sneaking in then. Okay.
So
I did it once. I made it out.
Okay.
Where did you go? How did you enter the
I went through this incredibly small hole on the side of the cliff face, and it kind of connected. I think my brother did too, but he fell down, and the extra giant thing squashed him.
Oh, that
how
makes
big
sense.
is the cat?
How big is the cat?
No, I mean like out of how big are you?
How big are you?
5 feet tall.
And the rodent is like.
Can someone
6 inches tall.
Oh.
It's like
I thought
it's a
you said
wombat.
full
It's
Okay.
Wombats are actually quite
I
large.
can be that.
Wombats are
size.
like
Oh,
this
you
big.
can be that
It's
size.
more, okay, it's more like a possum.
Would you
To be
show?
the more accurate size. It's like a
Oh my
raccoon
God.
possum
Would you
sized
maybe
animal.
show us where this?
I would
hole
love it if
is?
this was a possum.
This for sure is a possum. It's
Would you
insane.
show us where the hole is?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
We've got 8 together.
Yes, of course, yes. I guess we go on this adventure, and while they're on their way, I think Jacoby's going to ask, "Is like, have you ever heard sound come from any of the chocolate creatures?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
What kind of noises do they make?
Click, click, clack, click, click.
Oh, I suppose that makes sense. But they don't have. Have you seen them consume food? Do they have mouths?
I've never considered any of these questions before.
Do they let
I do love
floor
seeds.
open from the top, or do they split
Have
in
you
half
seen
from
any
the bottom?
pumpkin seeds recently?
That's a good question.
Oh, he doesn't know what pumpkin seed is.
I'm gonna pull
I
out
have
the
a pumpkin seed. Yeah, we took it. I give him.
Thank
Wait,
you,
did you
Matthew.
ask for the pumpkin seed?
Yeah.
I get the pumpkin seed.
Have you seen one of these?
Oh, thank you.
Oh. Can you
He
tell
goes
us-
to take it with his
Wait,
little.
wait,
his
wait.
little
Have you seen any
hands.
other of these before?
Oh, they're a delicacy. Yes,
Okay, where have you seen them?
they've been scattered across the ground. Occasionally, I'll follow these 3. I don't know numbers. Big round shapes that are moving through the mountains.
How long ago have you seen this?
Oh shoot. More sunrises than I can count, which is none.
Okay, reasonable.
But it's been a bunch. If
Okay.
numbers work, it's been a bunch.
What direction are the mountains that they've been passing through?
They're sort of all around. They kind of live here, I think. I'm unsure if they. I feel like they live here because
They're-
I've seen them for many moons on and off.
Many moons, on and off.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
You only know one, few, and many.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
food, many.
that's reasonable.
And none.
It's like, all right, here you go.
None
And
food
they're,
sometimes.
Hey, the
and they're
concept
gonna
of
give
zero is
the
really
pumpkin
important.
seed to the little critter.
Oh, I love this. Thank you for the seed.
Has
This
a
is
weird
such
little
good-
aftertaste from being inside.
I'm
Chocolatey.
sort of weirded out by this flavor.
Yes, we got it from one of the dollopy squishy things.
Those are real bad.
Yes.
I lost my other brother to one of
Oh
those.
no! I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's okay.
I
Our
have a lot
litter
of
was like a dozen.
Fair
A half
enough.
dozen.
Packs of 12 are very important.
Packs of 12.
Well, fair enough.
All right.
I thought it was 8. The number keeps increasing.
Packs of 40 are really important.
So we go to
You
the
go to the
hole.
little hole. Yes, there is a little hole. You could probably send something through. The hole is
Okay.
probably about that big across.
And before, like, okay, they sort of like make a note of where this is and report back to the party the whole. So the Vegetarians have been here for likely longer than we have. The rat said, Sir Squeakerton said it needs to have a name. I've talked to it. It's
But naming
so
it now,
sweet.
that's fine.
It's a possum.
Squeakerton. Yes. Is it a possum?
No, he's a wombat.
Sir
It's a
Squeakerton.
possum.
It's
I drew it.
Sir
Womp
Squeakerton. Yeah.
One possum.
So Squeakerton said
Wampus?
that there's a hole in the mountain that can be used to get over there into a place that the giant cannot see as easily, but we still need to be very, very careful. But also, the Vegetarians have been in the mountains for a long time, to the point where Sir Squeakerton thought that they lived here. Which I think is very unusual.
You are suggesting we go in Possum's hole.
Yes, I think it would be idea to go into the hole.
Is we someone? Am I done with
Yeah.
the owl thing, or am I still on that?
If you're still speaking to Sir Squeakerton,
No. Oh, I thought we.
You know,
I
we
thought
could
that
just
was
like put Sir Squeakerton on the shoulder and show back up with the party. I think that would be
Yeah.
funny.
you found the possum. If you're still able to communicate, then it's no. If
Yeah.
Because it
It's
lasts
been
for 10
10
minutes,
minutes and-
that
yeah,
lasts for an
that's
hour of.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. All right.
Sir Squeakerton continues to squeak at you.
Excellent.
Not understanding why you can't understand anymore.
I think they're gonna just sort of like just give some like little nudges to the just like just some scratches on the head.
Sir Squeakerton moves to your other shoulder very quickly
He's just gonna move
and tries
Fuzzy
to attack
Buzz to
Fuzzy
the
Buzz and misses as you grab the bead.
Squeakerton, no! Unacceptable
squeaks
behavior.
angrily.
Unacceptable behavior.
I can take the possum and it can sit on my shoulder.
Yes, there we go. Perfect.
Beautiful. How wonderful.
They're getting hits now.
So I'm so sorry for the pack bonding.
You
instinct.
don't touch the wildlife.
Too late.
It said yes.
This is consensual.
You did ask consent.
I mean, I guess.
This is Fuzzy Buzz, and I will take great care of them.
And go back to summoning Kulim the Seventh.
Was that the final straw for
Talks. You hear very close to you the sound of like knocking, an object knocking against stone. Sir Squeakerton has a chunk of something in one of your pockets and is slamming it against one of the rocks to try and open it.
Oh no.
Okay, like, is it a jawbreaker?
It is a piece of the
I
jawbreaker.
was like, ah,
Cracked up possum on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Kind of like,
Okay.
just like jamming it into my mouth.
Well, we have cocaine bear. We have to also have crack pocket.
Crack possum.
It is only right.
It is very fair.
Just got it rolling around in my mouth like it, and he just
Just the whole jaw break.
or whatever's left of it, I guess, since I
Yeah.
like half of it.
It's much smaller. It's small enough that this possum is trying to break it open like a seed. That being said,
All right.
what is our move?
I need to get going.
That being said, think about what we're going to do next week. I'll create an episode summary. Thank you everyone for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for coming. It's been a pleasure.
So much fun.
It was.
Rest in peace, Kulim the Seventh.
Oh no. Character deaths always hurt.
There will never be anyone like you except for your replacement.
Except
Kulim
for your
the Seventh.
replacement that looks incredibly much like you.
Yeah.
My post.
Oh, we could show art here at the end if anyone has remained.
There's art.
Oh, arts.
Oh, it is hard to.
I have so many arts right now.
Yeah.
Please pass this
I
around.
want to see.
So
I have many arts. Some of them are very sketchy, but I have so many arts. From the first one of the shards of chocolate and Banan-knights describing the new peoples, which I don't think you
can see it there.
now you can see. And every day I try to do a couple of them. So here's the bridge that we had to cross, and the goopy goops and how tenderly it was, as well as my sample. And then I am slowly but surely doing the adobe and then the statue, as well as our new possum friend.
God, how cool is that?
Oh.
All right, folks.
Hooray!
Pleasure.
Hoorah.
End. Hey Google, end stream.
It's Jean.
It's not how it
Thanks,
works.
everybody.